Hello, Star Fam. How are we doing? How are we do? Old school, come on in the room.
Oh,
Whoa,
no.
come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Now you sing. Come on.
Oh, no, I don't do
Come
that.
on in the room. Yeah, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Hey guys, my name is Nikki.Star. I do comedic reviews of some of your favorite reality TV shows. Not going to be much of a review today. We're just going to be chatting about what's going on in the Love Island world. Because I'm going to talk about multiple subjects, I'm going to put timestamps in my description box. So if you're watching this, hey, replay gang. And if you're watching this later, just know if there's just a certain subject that you want to talk about, hop into the description box because that's where the time stamps are. Today, we're going to be talking about some good news for Bryce. We're going to be talking about Olandria getting people together. We're going to be talking about Ciara clapping back. Wow. And then we're going to end talking about KC and Titi'S podcast. Mercury is a micro braids, girl, because what is going on in the Love Island community? Ciao. Word on the street is that Peacock is moving like the cartel. Oh, I will say, I'm not getting into that, y'all. I will never do a video about that. I'm not talking about that or nothing because it's getting real legalese. It's getting real legalese. And I'm not coming at that multi-billion-dollar company. Girl, I know when to shut up. I know when to shut up. Mama.
No, I'm not saying anything.
We know when to shut up.
Because I hope you got your lawyers. I got mine.
Period. Period. Olandria. Let's get into our first subject. The first subject we're going to be talking about is who? I don't know. Ola, Mom, you know the order.
Ola,
you got to pay attention.
No, it's not pay attention. I got to get myself together.
What? You're still upset about them breaking up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it might not be a real breakup.
It might not be. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Something is going on. Something is brewing.
It's a shifting in the atmosphere.
It's something going on.
The moons and the stars.
That why this came out.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten down to that yet. But I this ain't fitting right with me.
It's not sitting right in your spirit.
No, this ain't sitting right with me. And whenever something ain't sitting right with it's something else going on. And we haven't gotten to that part yet. But
what you think is going on?
I'm not at the liberty to speak about that at this point.
Are you under contract? Does Netflix have you under contract, Heather? What are you talking about? I'm not at liberty.
I'm under contract with Netflix. I'm not at liberty.
You under contract with it? Okay.
And I'm under contract with the Starfield.
Okay, well, when a Netflix contract expires, just let us know.
I'll let y'all know.
Okay. So we're starting off with our girl Ola, because little mama has had enough. And she's tired of people. So she's clapping back, and good for her. So a few days before, Olandria posted this. This was on her Snapchat, and she posted another unsuccessful smear campaign and multiple hate trains. Better luck next time. My girl. So she posted this a few days before. Then next thing you know, People Magazine comes out with this story that her and Nick have broken up, and all of the other entertainment pages start following people's lead and reporting that story. Here's the thing. I know there's a lot of hurt Nicolandrians, right? People Magazine is a really trusted entertainment source. I'm not saying they get everything right, but they are known for getting everything right. If you give tea to like People Magazine, like People Magazine is the place where your publicist goes first, just because of the history that they have and the respect that they have in the media, especially in the entertainment industry. So, like, if People reports it, it's probably accurate, right? It's just as accurate as TMZ posted somebody's death, because Harvey Levin, he got the LAPD and he got the LA coroner's office on lock. Like, so he pays them a hefty, price to have the breaking stories of celebrity deaths. So same thing with People Magazine. Like, People Magazine is just that girl. Like, I know a lot of people are hurt, but I'm just like, she don't be lying. She don't be lying. Now, here's the thing. Although People Magazine is a trusted media source, if this isn't true, their credibility is jacked. And here's the thing. I don't think that they will put that out if they were not sure that this was true, especially from the source. And that source better make sure this is true, because not only do you mess up your credibility, you blackball yourself from People Magazine, who's a huge entertainment media outlet, juggernaut in the industry, and you also blackball yourself from every other entertainment media agency, because you want to have the lead story, and nobody wants to have the lead, and it is not true. So listen, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Some of the fans are crashing out and saying it's not true. Some are saying that a certain network is behind this. Here's the thing. If People Magazine, if they're wrong, this is going to be bad for business. And whoever gave them that source, baby, move to Oklahoma. You're done here. You're done here if that tea is not accurate. My God, today. So anyway, after People Magazine puts that out, the rumor mill just starts. So this gossip page called Dumoy, they posted this. First, it was this rumor. It says, this is from Dumoy, just a rumor. It's starting off. This is a text that she received from a source. And it says, now that the PR relationship is over, Olandria has been hooking up with Travis Scott. And the reply, then Dumoy, or her source, or whoever works for her, replies, how certain are you? And the source says, I'm pretty sure, been hearing rumblings through the rumor mill months ago. Here's the thing. I don't do Dumoy because it gives racism to me. It gives racist. But I will say this, if this is how this T page runs their page, and if this is how they run with this suspected T, delete your page. Delete your page, because this source gave you nothing. It just said, I'm pretty sure, been hearing in the rumor mill. First of all, the source is white. So this white person got this tea on two black people. Been hearing rumblings through the rumor mill months ago. Okay. Did you see them? Were you hanging out and you saw them booed up? Do you have a friend that knows that Travis is with Olandria? Did you see Travis talking to Olandria on his phone? Like, that's it? That's all you run with? That's ridiculous.
Nah.
Wait a minute. If Dumoy is the source for People Magazine, we might see this page crumble in real time. We might see this page crumble in our lifetime. Because what are you talking about? So you heard a rumor and you gave the rumor to this trusted T page, and this is all you had to make this and put it out there? Delete the page. Delete the page. You don't have no tea? Like, this is not, what is this? I heard something. People been talking. Who's the people? Like, I thought that this page had like proof. Heard rumblings through the rumor mill, and that's enough for you to post it on your page. It's crazy. What were you going to say, Mama?
Now, let me tell you one thing, and I told y'all this yesterday. I said, when they put this out, I said something else is going on. Something else is going on. Because he was just trying to get to Dallas, and she was waiting for him to come to Dallas and all that. And for them to get to the point where they're not seeing each other no more, just like that. Like, she was all on her page saying, yeah, me and the family, we waiting for him to get to Dallas. And he couldn't get to Dallas, and he almost lost his mind. So I don't know if something is happening, that people got some proof and they about to put it out. So they just went on and said that early. I don't know, but I just feel like this ain't the whole story. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about this Travis Scott thing and this and that and that and this.
Since when did he date black women?
But, well, she's a beautiful black woman.
Yes, but
listen,
Travis got a type, and it's Caucasian.
It may not even be Travis. It may be something else. It's something down the pipe. Whenever they do something abruptly like this, your publicist put out a statement like this, it's because something else is coming down the pipe. And they're trying to, and I'm going to tell you something, because I've been thinking about this for a while, all night, if you want to know, because Olandria wasn't herself this weekend. She was not herself, and I attributed it to her missing, Nick. Then she posted her doing her Bible. She
Bible study, yeah.
And I said, what? Yeah, she's getting, because she signed again for another year with her agency or whatever. And then now all of a sudden they broke up just like that. Nah, that's not sitting well with me. The breakup. Now you lovey-dovey. He was just there with you for your birthday, and you even gave us a shot, a vlog just out him in bed. You know what I mean? Like, something is going on, and it's about to hit the fan, and they got in front of it. That's what that's giving.
What do you think is going on, though?
I don't know. Okay. I'm not at the liberty to speak about it.
Oh, girl. Okay, hold on.
But something else is happening. They just broke up now. When you see somebody breaking up, it's a serious thing. Oh, the distance and this and that and that and this. Girl, they've been going through that, but they've been making it work. She been with him, he been with her. They back and forth. New York, LA. I mean, they have been making it work. Mm-hmm. So just to come up and say, oh, the distance is getting to them, so they decided to, nah.
You don't believe it?
Nah. You got to get up early in the morning to get Mama Star. Nah, it's something else coming out. Then all of a sudden, this site come out and say something about her and Travis Scott. She hasn't been talking, but she came up to talk about that. Mm-hmm. You better get your lawyers ready because I got mine.
Well, yeah, that brings me to this. Okay. Then after they post this about the rumor, in their caption, they say Olandria Carthen from Love Island and rapper Travis Scott. Mm-hmm. Thoughts, feelings. Delete the page. Like, you are literally monetizing off of this? This is no tea. You have this is ridiculous. So then Olandria comments on the page and says, I hope you have your lawyers ready because I have mine. Mm-hmm. And then Do More. That's why I don't rock with them. Nasty. They respond, just DM'd you their email. Excuse me? Delete the page.
No.
I thought these people the way everybody's always saying, oh, Do More said this, I thought they had some actual evidence. All it is rumor mill. Literally, that's it. It's giving jealousy. Okay. And then this young lady posted in their comments as well and said, y'all are weirdos for posting this. And they said, why? We believe it. With what evidence? There's no evidence. I cannot believe that this is people's trusted tea source and that they monetize off of this, and there is literally no evidence. Everybody, all the celebrities that they talk about should sue them.
Mm-hmm.
They really should. I really thought that they had some evidence. Rumor mill, rumblings in the rumor mill is all they went off of to try to destroy this lady. Crazy work. Then in the comments, they write, update, Olandria denied, ? This rumor, but blocked the account. So her comment, which was pinned, first of all, they pinned her comment. This is the thing. This is what they do. They try to ruin your life and then eat off your engagement. Which was pinned, was not showing it was from her. So pinning this comment. That's how they do. They live off of, it's a rage bait. They live off of rage baiting celebrities. That is all it is. They need to be sued into poverty because how dare you? I really thought they had some tea. Rumor mill. That's it. And everybody's running with it. And here's the thing. There's also this thing where it has been from the beginning where people keep on trying to put Olandria with a football player or a rapper.
Well, they said she unfollowed, Nick unfollowed her, and Nick unfollowed People magazine.
They should have, because that's their business. I get it, right? But it's this thing where they keep on. It's like Olandria should be with a football player and a rapper, and it don't ever sit right with me because I'm like, why those two things? No, you never said that Olandria should get with like a doctor. You're like, you know what I mean? Or like even if somebody say, oh, Olandria should be like a footballer. You know, like one of them soccer ball guys. Or Olandria should be with this juggernaut of a guy, this philanthropist. No, y'all never say that. It's always football player and rapper. And it never sits right in my spirit because I feel like people are saying these things about her and people are believing this Travis Scott thing because not only is she a Black woman, she's a dark-skinned Black woman. And that is where you see the height of that kind of woman. If they ain't on the arm of a rapper or on the arm of a football player, they have no relevancy. Like that's as good as you're going to get. And I don't like it. It don't sit right with me. It feels like you're calling her a slur. It feels like you're calling her a slur. And also for a page like Do More to do something like that. And I said, I already told you I don't rock with them because they give racist to me. For them to put her with Travis Scott, to even go with this rumor, it's because y'all want to believe that. Because that's who y'all think she should be with. That's who y'all think that Black woman, that dark-skinned Black woman, you think that she should be with a rapper. You don't want her with a successful, popular, attractive white guy. So you'll take whatever lack of evidence that you have with this rumor and run with it because you want to make this story out that this is where she's supposed to be. Or this is where she's always wanted to be. She never fit with Nick. Because for you to have no tea, no evidence, and just say that she's with Travis Scott, very, very weird. Then this weird astrologer on Threads that went viral talking about she did cards for Olandria. Y'all better put down them Uno cards. Y'all know what the hell y'all doing and who y'all playing with and who y'all calling up. Anyway, she said she sees Olandria getting pregnant by a rapper and getting engaged but not getting married and being a baby mom. And I said, did your cards say that? Or did the racism tell you that? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And this just lets me know that this young lady is going to have an even bigger year than the last. Because the way her year hasn't even gotten started, and people are trying this young lady, greater is coming. Greater is coming.
I would love if they popped out and got engaged.
I wouldn't.
And said, "Future."
Too much money to be made right now. You don't need to be nobody wife or mom.
I didn't say
too
married.
much money to be made.
I said engaged.
You don't need to be engaged. We can. What's wrong with common law? Like, you could be a girlfriend for a minute. Too much money to be made. Too many opportunities to take.
Common law.
You know, let's not worry about making him eggs. You know, in the morning. Let's get these coins. Let's build generational wealth. You have the opportunity to do that. Date for whoever you want to date, but I just don't feel like she should be locked down like that, because you just never know. This person might not be your forever. It could be the person to get you to your forever. You just never know. But that's just my opinion. But I feel like greater is coming for her, because this just the smear campaigns against her just don't make any sense. There's nothing that she is doing to warrant this. It does not make any sense. But what it is showing is the jealousy of some white women who are foaming at the mouth that Olandria is allegedly with this rapper, because this black rapper, because for them it's just like, oh, that's where she belongs. She doesn't belong over here with Nick. That's where she needs to be. So they're going to run with that, and they're going to receive it as law, as Bible, because of how they feel about her. And then you have the colorist black people. You got the jealous black people who are running with that as well, because for some reason they never want this relationship to be real. It's ridiculous. But Olandria, make sure you email your lawyers, Dumois lawyers, information, and get it on and popping. Get it on and popping, because that right there, no evidence, just a rumor, and they're putting out as like it's like, and this is supposed to be a trusted source, a trusted site. Yeah, sue them into poverty. Final thoughts, Mama Star?
I just think, like I said, I just think something else is going on. I don't know what it is. This breakup ain't sitting well with me, that all of a sudden it's a breakup. They were planning to be together this weekend, like, and then it's a breakup. Now, if they weren't together and they hadn't seen each other in a while, but he was trying to charter a plane. He was trying to rent a plane to go there when his plane got so that don't make any sense. And I mean, if that is what they did for the publicity so that we wouldn't, I just don't know. It just, everything don't add up to me. I just need more pieces to this puzzle. Everything ain't right. My daughter, Nikki.Star, always say, "Mom, you should have been a detective, because you know how to put a story together." Yes, I should have, but I just feel like something is not right. And we'll see it in the coming days.
See it. Okay. Star Family, what do you have to say? Let's get into the comments. Be Yourself said, Love Island USA, the show that keeps on giving. Oh, child. Sure do. Nikki said, I just want Ola to have some peace. Yes. She hasn't done anything to anybody. Let her be black, fine, and rich in peace. Yep.
Yes,
they hate to see her winning.
They get on my nerves with that.
God loves his children. What up, said, I kid you not, I've never seen this much amount of hatred for a celebrity before, not even an A-lister. What it is about Olandria that has people so triggered and just brings out the nasty in people? Well, there's a few things. First, we'll start off with the fact that she is a Black American, right? You know how the world hates us and envies us. And she is a Black American woman who is dark. It's just, you know, we all... be existing in that kind of body already sets you up for multiple envious communities that are doing their best to make sure you never succeed, right? So when people see somebody like that, a Black person, a Black American person, a Black American woman who is dark, teen parents, working class. These are all things that the masses have been taught is of lower quality people. people who will always be at the bottom, people who are beneath people who are not like her. She was never supposed to make it out of Alabama, right? So when you have somebody like that we have all been taught is bottom of the barrel, most disrespected person in America, shout out to Malcolm X. When somebody like that not only rises to the top, but they rise to the top.
Keep rising to the top.
And all the people say they rise to the top in record speed. Like, we were all talking about this last year. We were just like, oh my God, this is insane. This woman's run is crazy. Not even a white girl out of Love Island has been able to do what she has been able to do. That breaks people's brains, because that person, somebody like that, was not supposed to win. And not only were they not supposed to win, they were not supposed to go that far and that high.
Right.
So the people who hold on to that mindset that a Black person, a Black American person, a Black American woman who was dark, who was from, who was working class, product of teen parents, she was not supposed to be great. And if you're lighter than her, if you're a man, if you're not Black, but if you're Black but not Black American, you are taught that you are better. And if you're not working class, you are taught that you are better than this person. So to see this person just rise so quickly and so greatly, and nobody has been able to catch her and stop her, it breaks your brain if you believe that. Because you're like, how are they able to do this? What is happening here? No. We can't let this become a thing. Because if she's able to do that, somebody who looks like her is going to get inspired and think that they can do that. And then what happens? The preference is no longer the preference. That's why Trinity is getting all that pushback. That's why Anaya is getting all that pushback. Because why? The men that are put on the pedestal are choosing them, are choosing the most disrespected humans in America, in the globe, are choosing them to partner with. Black women, Black American women, dark-skinned Black American women are being chosen, loved on, adored, praised, worshiped by the man at the top of the totem pole. And if this keeps on happening, if this keeps on catching on, the preference no longer is the preference. The hands of power change. Privileges change. And the people who have privilege don't want to lose it. So you have so many people trying to make sure this woman doesn't win because they do not want this to be a thing. They do not want to lose their privilege. They know they have privilege over people like that. So when you start putting people who do not have privilege on a pedestal, it opens up the doors for people who are just like them. And they do not want that to happen. So they'll run with a rumor to try to destroy her. They'll run with all kind of lies. They'll say her relationship is fake. They'll say that white boy never really liked her. They'll say, oh, she's not that cute to me. I don't know what everybody sees. I don't get it. She's just a regular girl from Alabama. They'll say whatever they can and do whatever they can, because if this catches on, so many communities lose their privilege, and they don't want that to happen. They will link up. That's why you see Black women linking up with white supremacists, dragging this girl down, because those Black women who don't look like Olandria know the privilege that they have in the Black community. And if they support Olandria, women and girls who look like her are going to have a privilege that they have been privy to. And so their thing is, I lose that, it goes to them. Not that, oh, All of us black women are rising. Let's support this sister because they don't see themselves in her. They black, but they ain't dark. They black, but they ain't got 4C hair. They black, but they got small features. They black, but they not working class black.
I have another perspective.
Well, I'm not done.
Okay.
Thank you. Because first of all, I need you to listen to me because you're listening to speak and you're not listening to hear.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Because you just want to say you're a piece, but you're not listening to me.
Wow.
Let's listen and take in what Nikki.Star is saying.
Give ear
to hear. Period. So that's the first thing, right? And then the second thing is this woman who's on a reality TV show. She's not an actor. She's not a celebrity kid. She's not a well-known influencer or YouTuber. She was selling elevators over a year ago.
She's from Mississippi.
Alabama.
Oh,
Alabama Barbie.
Yeah.
Over a year ago. And went to not just stardom, A-list stardom in less than a year. Celebrities
know her name.
Current celebrities know her name, but the current celebrities bust their butt to get where they're at. Mm-hmm. And they don't think that she's done it. They don't think that she earned her dues. They was out here at 15 doing background acting. Took them 20 years to get to the Oscars. She did it in less than a year. Former Love Island people still have yet to touch the money that she's touched in less than a year. Mm-hmm. So there are the normies who love her and see her and just so happy for her. And then there are a lot of people who are just like, why her? Mm-hmm. Why her? Mm-hmm. Because you've been told your entire life that somebody that looks like her, that from where she's from, mm-hmm. and that has a situation that she has is beneath you and will never win. But your brain is breaking because you are watching somebody you were told was feces on the bottom of your shoe reach heights that you and your bloodline will never touch. Mm. People are losing it about her. She comes into a room, demons tremble. Mm. And I love that. You show her picture, they lose it. Gnashing at the teeth, tearing at their flesh because of this girl. She does not know who or what she is for this moment in time. She was supposed to be here for this moment because the way she has shifted the atmosphere by just showing up on that show and being her authentic self. She's changed this timeline. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she knows that. She changed this timeline. If she did not come out of that villa and have the run that she had, we will not have Trinity and we would not have Anaya. She shifted the atmosphere and she changed that timeline. And people who are, the girls that get it. But the girls that don't and are getting left behind are losing it because they could not understand what's happening. And so you might be shocked and surprised by this people who are just like, I don't like this girl. And you're just like, she didn't do anything. I can't stand her. I hate her. I don't want her to do her. You're just like, what is it? What is going on? They're losing their privilege. That's all it is. They're losing their privilege. That's all it is. We watched the same thing happen with this season of Love Island. Broke the Black community. Because dark-skinned Black women in general, but dark-skinned Black women, the way that fan base, the money fan base, the influence fan base, the way they rallied behind those two dark-skinned Black women, broke the Black community. Because ain't no way that audience, that show is riding for them like that. Ain't no way that dark-skinned Black girl got that fairy tale date that we have never seen on Love Island. Ain't no way she got treated like that. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to keep on happening. It's going to keep on happening. Mm-hmm. because there has been a shift in the atmosphere. The timeline, baby. Woo! Wake it up. Mercury has taken out her micro braids. Ah! Get ready. Go ahead, Mama Star.
Mama Star just wanted to say that jealousy is horrible.
Will get you nowhere.
Jealousy is horrible. It can ruin your life. And what you see a lot of people that's posting all this negative things, that are another race.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak about those people first. Is because
come close. I can hear you.
It's because they can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how she just come from the back all the way to the front, and they're still doing content.
Yep.
And that's what the whole thing is.
Yeah.
To try to smear her or to
mm-hmm.
try to, steal her crown. But I want her to get some therapy. I want her to get some therapy mm-hmm. because, to come from the back to the front, we pray for that. We want to have that. But it's more than a notion
mm-hmm.
to have that type of success so quickly, just right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just go from there to there. Sometimes, Nick was her safe place.
Yeah.
She was able to be comfortable there. She was able, that was her place of peace where she could, just steal away from all of the noise. And he was able to, shield her and, talk her off the ledge mm-hmm. and things like that. That's what gives me another problem with this whole situation. But I don't know what their relationship was really about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know what their day-to-day was, what they argued about or what. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is I'm concerned about her because, it's been a year. And it's not letting up. But it's because she's not letting up. She keep on rising. Mm-hmm. And again, that is it's a hard place to be, even though you want to be there. You know what I mean? We ask for that every day, but TD Jake said it best, and I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. Can you stand to be blessed? Now, I used to hear it used to be like a cliche little quote or whatever, but when you listen to that, can you stand to be blessed? Because mm-hmm. there's so many people trying to take you down, so many people trying to take your crown, so many people trying to take your place, and you have to, it's just like, when you win the Super Bowl, every team is coming at you mm-hmm. when you come back because they want the Super Bowl. They want to take mm-hmm. it from you. So this is what she's dealing with on a daily basis. And it's getting to her. I noticed she got her, she was hanging with friends, but now she got her core friends mm-hmm. so she could feel
safe and protected.
Yeah, so she can feel a little more rooted, a little more, comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like she got her family around her so that she don't, because you don't know who fake and who real. Mm-hmm. All these people around you and they coming around you and, you new to this, but, recently she's been having her friends around mm-hmm. her. And at first I was like, she needs to be around other people. But now as I think about it, she want to feel safe. These are the people that she felt safe with, that she mm-hmm. felt protected with. So she started hanging back with them. And maybe that's what it's about. Like, she just felt like I need to pull back from that because I can't handle what's coming with that relationship with him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he don't understand where I'm coming from. He don't understand the hate. I don't know, but I feel so bad for her because, as a mother, my daughter wouldn't go through that by herself. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what her mother does, and I'm not coming at her mother, but I would be there. Mm-hmm. I would be there. Tina knows still with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. after all these years, she's still there. She still know how to ground her. She still know how to see things that she can't see. And she, so into her daughter. And that's what I would be with my daughter, because you feel protected when you have your mother with you. You know what I mean? Instead of all these people that you just met that you don't really know them. Everybody trying to get to the bag, trying to get to the money, everybody mad. You know what I mean? So, it gets a little tedious. Mm-hmm. It does. And I just feel, bad for her right now. I wish I was a part of her team, because I sure would let her know. Don't be afraid of no ghosts.
I don't think she's afraid. She probably started off like just coming out like, what is happening? I think
could be
now
scary if people talk about they gonna kill you.
Yeah. I think scary. Now she's just like tired of it.
Yeah.
Like just it's too much, because we've never seen her clap back. And now she's just like, oh, another smear campaign. Try again. Like she's getting tired of it. Mm-hmm. So however she decides to clap back, I fully support it. I think she's taking enough. So when she starts clapping back and cussing people out, don't clench your pearls. Don't clench your pearls.
Saying that Nick said something.
Oh Lord!
And I have not seen it because I have refused to come on.
Yeah, you're in mourning. Yeah, Give Me Shelter says because they are miserable and probably are the type of people that root for the downfall of people in their own families. You can imagine how they vote, but let me be quiet. Mm-hmm. Clock it. Black power. What's up? Said, I like Casey and Titi's podcast. It was really sweet. I like how they discuss classism in the Black community. Yes. I think they did a good job. Some things we can talk about, but it wasn't as bad as a lot of people were making it out to be. God loves his children. Said, to be honest, I feel jealous of Ola at times. Not because of her success. No, she deserves everything. I'm mainly jealous of how confident she is in herself and knows her self-worth. She's taught me a lot. Yep. I think she is an absolutely amazing person. I always will give flowers to her mother because I believe that she is the woman that she is because of the mother that she has. Mm-hmm. And her mother was able to raise such a beautiful woman as a child herself. Mm-hmm. Always give her mother her flowers. Couple said, I'm not at liberty. Hey, obviously me, what's up?
Yes,
obviously me said Nick flamed the reporters in the Threads video recently. Have you seen it? Yes, but that was old. That wasn't recent. That was an old video. I don't think either one of them has said anything since that report. Janice said, I agree with Mama Star. It's not sitting right with me either. Yeah, I think it's because they haven't said anything. They haven't released any statements. So we don't know what's going on until we hear it from them. Magic in the Hampton said, I wonder if the people who dropped the story before it was approved or something, did Nick ever follow people before this? Yeah, like they both did like interviews with people. Like People is like the source, the entertainment media source. So yeah, they had a relationship with them. But for them to post that, yikes.
They better be telling the truth.
Yeah, it's going to be bad for people if this is not a trusted source. If they got this from Des Moines.
Or if they got that from, one of her friends who's not checking her or something like
Somebody
that.
Jealous, yeah.
Yeah.
Donnie said, I don't think that they are broken up. Nick unfollowed People magazine. We'll see, child. Hey, Just Jonda said, today is my birthday. Big Leo energy take over. According to all the charts, we push Mercury out of retrograde today. Coincidence? I think not. Yes, Jonda, thank you and only you for pushing Mercury out. Also, we got to do happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jonda. Thank you so much. The world is so much better because you are in it.
Bingo.
Enjoy your day, my love. Give Me Shelter said NikkiStar. By the way, I have been getting back into scripted shows, and guess who I found in an episode? Oh God. You look great. Thank you. The lighting could have been better, but thank you so much. Give Me Shelter. Amirio said, so glad you're doing these reviews, Nikki. It helps my Love Island withdrawals. Of course. We got to talk about what's going on with our favorite Sims. God loves his children said Nick wouldn't do that if it were true, right? You can't be mad that they just reported on it. Publications do that. Yeah, he hasn't said anything yet. That the person who shared that video of him was an old video. Magic in the Hampton said, yeah, that's true. I have a cousin who works in the industry as well. He said the same thing. People don't run nothing without confirmation. That's what I believe is true. Listen, if it was I hate to say this, but I only believe it if People Magazine or TMZ reports it. And I'm only talking about deaths for TMZ, just because I know that that he pays the LAPD and LA coroner's office very well to get tea from them. But with People Magazine, anything concerning the entertainment industry, they're supposed to be a trusted, they're a credible source. If this isn't true, bad for business. Bad for business. Nikki said, I think they want to get Ola out of the way to replace him with a couple they can actually capitalize off. If we're talking about Peacock, I don't know if they necessarily want them out of the way, but I think because of the success of their talent from last season, I think they absolutely want to capitalize off of the talent from this season, because look at how much money the talent made from last season without them. They want to be involved in all of that. It gives what Bravo did with the Bethany clause, right? Before the Bethany clause, Bethany was making bank off of Bravo. She was doing commercials for all of her businesses. That's how she became very wealthy off of Skinny Girl. Because every time you saw Bethany, she was pushing Skinny Girl to the audience, right? Became very successful. All of her businesses, every time she was on camera, she was pushing her businesses to the point where years later, Bravo was just like, she got all this money on the show that we put her on, and we didn't get nothing. So now Bravo has a clause in a contract called the Bethany clause, where if you have a company or a business and you push it on the show, Bravo is going to get a percentage of that. That's why when people are just like, for certain housewives, like, why ain't you doing this? We'll never see them do anything, because they do have a business. They just don't want Bravo to get any money off of it or have their hands or a percentage off of it. So it's always going to happen. This season might change a lot. This season, season 8, we might see more dark-skinned Black women when they made $2.8 billion off of the love story of two dark-skinned Black women. We're going to see more dark-skinned Black women on Love Island. We might have a whole season of dark-skinned Black women at this point, where Peacock realizes the audience loves when they get a happy ending, right?
And also, Peacock may be running a smear campaign against her and Nick because they weren't able to capitalize off of them. Because when they left the show, they didn't do no PR for them. They did nothing. They just went on and got money.
Here's the thing. If this was a year ago, I could hear you. A year later, I don't think they're... A year later, I think they're all into Brinity and Carnaya. I don't... like.
I'm sure there was clause in their contract.
Absolutely. But I don't think that Peacock is... Like, here's the thing. I don't think that Peacock is doing that. Here's why I think that. They made so much money this season. More money than last season. More views than last season. I don't think they're going to take time out from the money that they made to run a smear campaign on the runners-up from last season. Even though it's Olandria, right? I just don't feel like they're behind the breakup. That's just my, industry opinion. It's like they're making so much money off of these couples and the core four. Why would they be focused on Olandria when they had their most profitable season to date? It just doesn't make sense to me. It could be that. I'm just saying, I would just need a little bit more before I go off of that. But I hear you, Mama Star. Hannah said, Dumoy is almost never right. Ola choosing Travis Scott is crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
There's so many people in front of him.
So many people. Simpin Ain't Easy said, as if everybody hating on a damn thing wrong.
What?
You sound like a KC. Ooh, you sound and write like your boy. CM said, and Travis Scott can't keep his mouth shut. We definitely would have heard before. First of all, guys, Olandria is hot, right? Not just physically. She's just hot. If Travis Scott was with her, his manager and his agent would have been had the paparazzi taking pictures of them.
Yeah.
If he was in that girl's vicinity, we would have been saw paparazzi pictures. His agents would have did that because you want to be seen with Olandria. So I don't believe it. I do not believe it at all. Yes, Baba said Travis definitely got his hype, and it ain't sisters. But you know what? A lot of them black men who, bunny hop, they will drop a bunny in a second for a successful black woman that's popular. OMG! Remember when those Caucasian prostitutes was on the Working Girls did that podcast, and they was doing it with one of the girls who was dating the basketball player that Megan Thee Stallion was currently with at that time. And she was just like, I just can't believe he's with her. She's like not his type. She's not like any of the other girls that he was with. I said, she's Megan Thee Stallion. She's every man's type. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't care that man looked you in your face and said that black women are beneath you and you are something to be worshipped. Megan Thee Stallion walks into the room, you don't exist. And that's the thing. Y'all be sitting there and eating them lies from them black men, baby. Girl, they'll say what they gotta say to get some coochie.
Okay, because when I first came in contact with her, she said the first show that I seen with her, she said, my name is Megan Thee Stallion. If you don't know who I am,
ask your man.
I said, okay.
And she was right. Devonta said they want Olandria to be humbled and date down. They stay telling black women to go be with the bus driver. And that's the thing, because they consider a black man, a rapper, dating down.
Yeah.
And that's what they think that she should be.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think that a rapper is dating down. I don't think that dating down. I don't think that dating a black man is dating down. I don't think that dating a football player is dating down. But that community does. Not all, enough that it's a problem. So they're telling her, go back into the field. Don't come over here with us. You're not worthy to be over here. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. Oh, got a super chat. Thank you, Obviously Me, for the super chat. Obviously Me said Nick did a response video. Oh, yeah. Did you see it? Yeah, I did. It was an older video. I'm waiting for something new. If y'all got any new tea, hit your girl up. But thank you so much, Obviously Me, for the super chat. Hannah said, people hate that dark-skinned black women have risen to the A-list status without a black man on her side. It changes everything. That's why a lot of black men were angry about their relationship, because the black woman got there without him. This timeline is starting to show who really got the power and who's always held it. Give Me Shelter said, nope, Olandria has the best showing with a non-black. Look at how they welcomed her in France, for instance. That's foreign black women. American black women, they still on that same thing. No, she still has support, but they didn't like the fact that Nick chose her. They've been trying to get that boy for a very long time. Art World said that all the content creators with the backhanded compliments, the contract is up, and I want to see Olandria happy. Yeah, we know what it is. Didn't you just call her a scarecrow on the low? You know what it is. You know what it is. Hey, Lene. Lene said, hi, Nikki and Mama Star.
Hi, my love.
Mama Mel, a.k.a. Mama Star. I have been loving the commentary. Thank you so much. Peaceful said, need to keep away from the MAGA whites. Ola, you're back up now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because also, when I talk about the timeline shift, everything is happening, right? Now you have all the huge mega influencers are now like, oh, I was wrong about MAGA, because it's a shifting in the atmosphere, guys. It's a shifting. I told you that pendulum was going to swing back. Hannah said, it's Peacock being jealous of Nick and Olandria. They know that couple, especially Olandria. Olandria will always rise. Oh, absolutely. Now listen, I'm not saying that Peacock is not jealous of the fact that they can't make money off of that couple. I'm just saying that I need a little bit more information before I think that Peacock had them in a contract for a relationship that they didn't benefit from. It doesn't make sense. And that now the contract has expired and this was scheduled, this was a takedown by people because we gotta stay grounded. We gotta stay grounded. Shiva says, I don't believe they were a PR couple. Me either. But I don't understand her supporters creating conspiracy theories around the breakup. Couples break up every day. It's not the end of the world. Absolutely. And listen, we also have to realize, especially with Love Island, guys, a lot of these couples are going to break up. They're all very young. They're very young people who met on a reality TV show. A lot of those couples are going to break up, and it's okay. Whitwood said the level of fame will come with the price, though. Something will suffer in her love life, like her love life did, but she is still amazing. Think of Oprah. Same thing. Men are intimidated by that greatness. Absolutely. Hey, Frenchie said, when I see certain dark-skinned Black women YouTubers titled the video that Nick and Olandria's contract is finally over and smiling with glee reporting on it, I said, oh, you are mean-spirited. Listen, not everybody is going to get it. Not everybody is going to see the light. you know, it's going to take people some time. It's going to take people some time, child. Kayla, hey, says hi, Nikki, Mama Star and Star family. What's up? Let me get a couple more and then we'll hop on over to what's going on with Bryce. Kate35 said, Nikki, you are absolutely preaching right now. It's levels to the disdain that people feel towards Olandria, and her being dark-skinned Black American woman specifically is the root of it. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Shout out to Cat Williams. The liar knows the lie they told, right? That's why dark-skinned Black people, especially dark-skinned Black women, are hated on the most. Why? Because we are the ones that bear the children. 9 times out of 10, if a Black woman is bearing a child, especially a dark-skinned Black woman, that's going to be a Black child, right? A lot of times, even with a non-Black partner, right? So not only are we the ones that are bearing and rearing the children, we are also the ones that carry the culture. And for people who want to benefit from Black American culture while not paying or putting Black American people on a pedestal, you have to constantly tear down and demean the people's source. And who is the source of the Black community? The Black woman, right? Who is the source of the Black community who looks the most like the people we were taught to hate? Dark-skinned Black women. We are constantly punished because we remind the oppressor of the power of the people they enslaved, right? And the power that they are still trying to steal and consume and profit from will always be seen as laborers. So when you put somebody like Olandria at the top, when you were told that they were nothing more than a laborer, then everybody is looking like, if they're no longer the laborers, who will replace them?
They are.
So that's what's happening there. Because not only is Olandria a dark-skinned Black American woman, she's proud of it. She loves it. She's using her influence to enhance her people. That's what you don't want. You don't want to give them Black Americans power. You don't want to elevate them. You don't want to push them to the front. Because if you do, hands of power change. And the liar, who knows the lie that they told, don't want the people to know the truth. They don't want the hands of power to change, because then you lose your privilege. And then if you lose your privilege, you have no protection. So without that privilege, you have no protection. And then what happens? You fear the consequences of your actions. So you got to fight to make sure somebody like that never makes it. Because if they do, hands of power changes, influence changes. So that's why even when you see a dark-skinned Black person, if they are pushed through the front, they're often anti-Black. They often have a white partner that is anti-Black. That is the only kind of Black people that will be pedestaled. So that's why you see so many Black people recycling that same kind of mindset. That's why you see so many Black people in high places who are all of a sudden, they're not Black, they're OJ. All of a sudden, all their partners are white. We get that. We see what you're trying to do. We get it. But then you have this Black woman, right? Although she's with a white man, proud Black American woman. Every time she's in an interview, she's talking about that. You're giving hope. You're giving hope to a people that aren't supposed to have hope, right? You are giving inspiration to young women who were not supposed to be inspired. You're making them see and believe they don't have to be on the field and they don't have to die in that field. You don't want to do that because who's going to replace the laborers? That's all that is. And it's not just with dark-skinned Black American women. It's with every community, right? Like every community that has privilege fears the underprivileged communities taking over. Hello, Americans and immigrants. It's blah, 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 blah. We know the story. It's just same demon, different fonts. Kiwi says, I hope Olandria knows how much she is the truth and she's leveling up the atmosphere. People are making things up because the hate they have for her is the hate that they are holding inside for themselves. Absolutely. That hate, oftentimes those people who have that hate, it has to go somewhere. And it normally goes to the people that they love. I always tell you about this. The History Channel has been my channel since I was 9 years old. I love that channel. I was watching this documentary about white supremacists deep in Pennsylvania. And the documentary was talking about how, and they would interview like these white supremacists, and but it was talking about how white women in the white supremacist community are the most abused women within the United States of America. And they would have these interviews with these white supremacists, and they would talk about all these people that they hate. They hate Black people. They hate the Jews. They all of this, right? But they didn't live around those people, right? So they're living around each other. So if that hate can't find its target, it's going to have to go somewhere. And where did that? And so, in the documentary just showing that these people are white supremacists, they're isolated in a white supremacist community, but they have this hate and this anger, and they don't have the target of the hate that they have, made for themselves, right? So if that hate can't go anywhere, if that hate can't go to the target, it has to go somewhere. Where does it go? Women and children. And they were talking about how, the women are often physically and sexually abused along with the children. It was a really, really sad documentary. I think it's probably on A&E. If I can find it in my watch list, I will share it. But that's all that is. It's like these people have hate and they found the target, but they can't really get to Olandria, right? So the social media has made these people be able to get out their hate verbally. But we all know those people are miserable. You are not a happy, sane person if you are hopping on the internet spewing hate to a stranger.
Right.
Because if you're happy and you're sane, you don't even think to do something like that. So these people have issues and problems. And that's why I'm so disappointed with people, creators and people who have followings who are constantly pushing this narrative that this woman is a bad person when there is no receipts of her doing anything awful. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't think they believe that. I think it's just they're rage baiting, and it's good engagement, and they make a lot of money. Their numbers grow, their YouTube pot grows, and the opportunity comes. But you're not going to go far, and you're not going to do well if you only got big because you were hating on someone who you thought was beneath you.
Right.
Because that person is going to surpass you, and that person is going to be in a room that you need to get in. Karma is swift, and she is not nice. And I would not, and it's not even if you want to think about it like that. Just think of it as just being a human being. Just think of it as just having empathy and compassion for another person, because there was this young lady on TikTok who diagnosed schizophrenic, and she did a video about how she likes Olandria now, but she was like a huge Huda fan and hated Olandria, and she got really, really popular with the Huda fan base because of the posts that she was making. And she said, I'm on new medication now, and I realize now on my new medication that I never hated Olandria. There's nothing wrong with her, because she's just like, I'm on my medication and I'm watching Olandria and I don't see anything wrong, but my brain was making me hate her. And then like I would feel this way about her, and then I would like go on the internet and I would have people agreeing with me and hyping me up and telling me that this woman was a bad person. This woman with a mental disorder became really popular on TikTok for hating Olandria. And it wasn't until she got on her medication that she realized that that was a problem. The sickest thing was, in her comment section, there were so many people still encouraging her and being like, oh, I get how you feel, girl, but Olandria is this. And I'm like, this lady is telling you that she is a diagnosed schizophrenic, and she's telling you that the hate for that woman is something's wrong with y'all. A diagnosed schizophrenic on her med said, listen, this ain't right. I done got my medication and I got my mind back, and I realized this ain't right. But these people are still encouraging that. And she got a really good following just off of hating Olandria. So I'm not surprised that people with even bigger platforms are making hate content about her. It's profitable. Absolutely disgusting that it's coming from Black people.
Yeah, that really is. How do you really live with yourself? Just being mean, just, spewing hate. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's very uncomfortable. I'm going to tell a story about myself. I was mad. I was at work and I was mad at my coworkers. Mm-hmm. They just got on my nerves, and I stopped speaking to them. And every day I would come to work. This went on for about a month. I would come to work and I just wouldn't talk to them. And it took a lot of effort for me not to talk to somebody. That was a lot of effort that I saw myself putting myself into. Because they just, sometimes I get too intertwined, and I, think people are, who I am. And when they show you who they are, believe it. And so then one day I just said, listen, I ain't doing this no more. I came and I said, well, good morning. And everybody was like, good morning, Melanie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And then it hit me that they weren't happy that I was not talking to them. Mm-hmm. And I would, because if it was me, I would have said, well, hello, you just decided to speak. I would have said something in that, but they were so like, good morning, how you doing? And we just went on to the point where my supervisor had called me. She said, no, you just ain't gonna walk in here and just say good morning. Now, she said, Melanie, how you want to do that? I said, well, listen, I'm not that person, and I couldn't just come to work every day and not be who I was. And she said, yeah, I understand that, but you just didn't talk to them, and then you just gonna come in here and just say hi. I said, yeah, good morning. But I said all that to say that was out of my character. They had gotten on my nerves about something that had happened or something. I just said, they get on my nerves. I don't want to talk to them no more. And I had to do that every day. I had to prepare myself to go in there and not talk to them. When I am a people person, I talk to everybody.
Let's land the plane, Mama Star.
So I was just saying that for you to be able to come on, you're something. Mm-hmm. For you to be able to come on your platform, open up your computer and go on your platform every day and just spew hate, you got to be miserable. That's a miserable place to be. And you know, I just don't understand people like that, because when I did that for a few weeks, I was just like, wait a minute, because it's just a sad place to be. Hate will never get you nowhere.
It will never win.
Never win.
Zora said, Ola probably should take some time away from social media and specifically leave Twitter completely. Here's the thing. I absolutely agree. I feel like she's at the point where she does not need to be running her social media. I think it's time for you to get put in the budget in a social media manager, and have your team set that up. You do not need to be
on your social media.
You don't need to. You're too big now. Your phone. You're too big. Get a Finsta, right? If you just want to be on social media, you should not be running your own social media at this point. That needs to be handed over to someone immediately.
It looks like somebody else is helping her with, because she got this other thing that we had to do.
No, but she's on her Twitter and she's on her Instagram. Okay. So it's just like, it's time. You know, you're bigger than a program. Yeah. That just comes with the territory. Yeah. So you just got to pull back a bit. But it's all right. Beyonce did it. She's still working. She's still getting a coin.
And she had a phone with a certain amount of people in it that she talked to.
Yeah. Khan says, hey, Nikki, just coming in here to say hi to you. Hi, and to Mama Star. Hi, I wonder if you see my comment from yesterday's live. No, I did not. Can you write it again? And I'll look for it. I'm so sorry. Node said, yeah, I was extremely disappointed that particular YouTuber was celebrating this rumor. Turned me off completely. Well, you know, some people have sources, and you know, you want to trust and listen to those sources. But I'm just like, I wouldn't. For me and I don't even have. I'm not gonna say I don't have a lot of followers. I do. I have a nice little following. But for me and my following, I would not use my platform to allude that network is doing something nefarious. Baby, them people like to sue. Sheba says, I don't believe conspiracies that Peacock has anything to do with it. Stans are claiming Peacock forced the breakup to make room for Brennedy. That's insane. Everyone needs to relax. Yes, everyone needs to relax. Turtle said, Peacock rarely, if ever, capitalizes on couples brands, though. They already have the actual Love Island show that makes money for them. They don't really need NikkiNicoleStar. I don't think they need NikkiNicoleStar, but I think I will agree that they realize not like, you know, trying to work with them after the show was a missed opportunity. Hey, Simone said the breakup news coming out an hour after Brennedy's first interview has people on the conspiracy train now. And here's the thing. I again, it could just be because I first started off as a media girly, a press girly. I will say this. I think it's genius that they did that. All the traffic that was coming to them, that is genius. I don't think it was a smear campaign. I think they probably had this tea, and they had this interview coming up and was just like, wouldn't it like be great for us if we release it at the same time? And they were right, because people who don't even watch or follow or read People magazine are tuning in. It was a genius media move. Good for them. It doesn't give conspiracy to me. At this moment, there could be more information and I could be like, But right now, with the information presented, I don't see a conspiracy theory. I don't see Peacock and people conspiring against NikkiNicoleStar. I just don't see it right now. Zora said, did anyone else see the jewelry commercial they did with the dark-skinned black woman and an Asian man couple? It reminds me of what you said about the beauty standard changing. Here we go. Shout out to Karnaya, their impact. Okay. Simone said that is truly sick. The hate for a whole stranger poisons the soul. It absolutely do. It absolutely does. Forever said, I had to come subscribe on both of my accounts. LOL, this is a great channel. I had to stop watching so many people recently because of how they spoke about these women. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad, listen, I've always said this, and I have non-Black people who follow and subscribe to me. I also have straight men who follow and subscribe to me. But everybody knows that this is a safe space for the girls and the gays, especially the Black ones. So I'm glad that I could be a safe space for you. Thank you so much. K235 said, yep, a lot of people's brains are just choosing to believe what society tells us. That's someone who consider the bottom of the totem pole, like Black American women, can't ever deserve love or success. And here's the thing, even if you think or believe that, it doesn't mean that that is true. And I think that's what's happening. A lot of people's truth is being shattered. And this is how people are reacting to it. And it's just like, oh, well, get used to it. Get used to it. Turtle said, I will never forget BuzzFeed's knuckle sandwich last year against Shelly. And those one influencers who've been fired for saying that their punching bag is Shelly and Ola. Like, these people are deranged. Absolutely. Because in their world, that's how they treat Black people. So they absolutely thought it was okay. Until people were just like, wait a minute, this is wrong. Unique said, it shows that these haters are living a miserable life. They hate people who are enjoying their careers in life. You can't, like, seriously, you can't be happy and put out dark stuff like that. There's absolutely something going on. There were some people that I used to follow, and the content got a little, and I'm not talking about YouTube, on the Tiki, the content got a little, oh, what's going on? Oh, you're going through something right now. And that's okay. But I'm not going to put that into my spirit. I'm sorry. I got to unsubscribe until you get the help you need. Unique said it shows. I got that one. Give Me Shelter said racism has to be a mental health illness. Researchers found that people who use the N-word in their study experience a dopamine hit. Yes, it has to be mental and social gain for those unwell people. Absolutely is. Britt said, I would like to weigh in. Olandria deserves more than Nick. You okay, Mama Star?
I'm okay. Okay. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to agree with that, because if I agree with that, it means that for me it makes you feel like Nick is lesser, right? I think that he has been a great partner to her from what we have seen.
Coming out of the
and I have always said, Black women who are looking to date interracially, who are in an interracial relationship, that should be the standard. He really looked out for her and protected her and loved and adored her. And so I just want them both to be happy, if it's with each other or not. I think he's a good guy. Social Steph said, I recently canceled my membership and unsubscribed from someone because the way they did. But Olandria and Anaya, same thing. Those women, it breaks their brain that they see them winning. They can't take it. They cannot take it. We're going to end here with K235, and then we'll get into Bryce. K235 said, exactly. Seeing women like Olandria and Anaya be chosen, loved, uplifted, and successful is breaking a lot of people's worldview. That's exactly what it is. And so these people have to like go through this temper tantrum, and then they're going to have to change their perspective. So that's why I always say, don't worry. The switch up is happening. Yeah. The problem is for those people who are going to switch up, you were very vocal about not liking her and hating her on camera. Like, we got you on candid camera, right? So when they switch up, they're going to have a really hard time running away from the negative perspective that they had about her in the beginning. But the switch up is going to happen because she's only going to get more and more successful. So it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to just acknowledge her greatness and acknowledge, who she is and what she's doing. And it's going to become very bad for business to dislike her. Yeah. Unwarranted. Let's move on. Let's move on into Brittany. Guys, we just talked about this yesterday. Bryce, our boy, signed with UTA. And this is what UTA posted on their Instagram. This is their new client, Bryce. I knew it because I'm just like, I knew it. He would just fit so well over there. He is their new client. And listen, face card is given. Yeah. Face card is giving. This is what UTA had to say about Bryce. And I think this is so awesome. Congrats, Bryce. It says United Talent Artist is excited to announce we have signed DJ, music producer, model, and television personality Bryce for global representation. I like it like that. In all areas. I like it like that. Had a breakout turn as the winner of Love Island Season 8, where he emerged as one of the season's most compelling and widely discussed personalities. Since the finale, he has continued to build an increasingly engaged global audience, reaching nearly 3 million followers across Instagram and TikTok, with new music, live performances, and additional projects on the horizon. I like it like that. Enters the next chapter with significant momentum across entertainment, music, and culture. UTA, come on, Bryce, will work to secure opportunities across live touring, digital content, brand partnerships, strategic business ventures, and additional entertainment opportunities. Basically, he about to get paid.
Okay.
He about to get paid.
And
he
Trinity
is about to
get nowhere.
Trinity ain't going nowhere. Oh, that boy about to make some money. All aspects. Good for him. I think I am so excited for Bryce. First of all, winning team. Your girl at WME and you at United Talent, baby, they about to eat. They about to eat. I love this for them. But the reason why I'm so excited for Bryce is because, like I was telling you guys yesterday, he has such an LA story. It is such an LA story. It's just like you know that you got something, right? You know you came out here to be this is where people want to be stars come. And you're out here, you're grinding and you're working. And while you're grinding and you're working, you might get a gig that looks really fabulous and you think you're taking off and then it doesn't happen. It doesn't take you anywhere. And then you got to go back to working on garbage trucks while your friends are like becoming huge stars and you're watching everybody take off. And then it's your moment. I'm so happy for him.
Me too.
Like everybody who's moved out to LA for, to pursue their career in entertainment, this is inspiring. Like you see it. I'm very excited for him and Trinity. And next up is Carl. Who he's signing with? I'm waiting for Carl and Melanie. I don't know what's going to happen with Sincere. Good. I don't know. We never know. We never know what's going to happen with Homeboy. But I'm waiting for Melody, Kada, and Carl to see what they're going to be up to. But I'm excited for all of them.
They're kind of like trying to let the noise die down with Sincere before they touch him.
Yeah. The family will just shut up.
Because Sincere,
like these big agencies don't want to touch anybody that's toxic.
Of money.
He's a gorgeous guy.
Yeah.
And a charmer.
They gotta let it kind of like.
Yeah. So we got 3 now. We're waiting for the other 3. Carl, Kada, and Melanie. Let's see what's in store for them.
Kada got to get something because she was half naked the whole day. I don't know why
she went back to New Hampshire. She should have stayed out here. Here's the thing: if you are a part of for me, I was like the core 4. Y'all got to be out here. Anaya went back home, but I was fine with Anaya going back home because Anaya went back home to her parents, who already know this industry and already know how to work it. So I knew she was going back to work. She went right back and did a photo shoot. You know what I mean? And then Gersh announced her. So she was already pretty much set up. Melanie, Kada, and maybe even Carl. Y'all got to come back here, baby. But Melanie's still here. So Kada, get back here. Get back here. And I want to see you just with Trinity and Melanie. I don't want to see nothing with you and Zach. No, the block is hot right now. But get back here, KK. The time is now. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the season 8 cast. They're doing big things. UTA, oh, that brother going to eat. That brother is going to eat. What do you guys have to say, Star fam? So Steph said, is he Polynesian? I think he's just a Caucasian, but we don't know. We don't know what his dad is. We do not know. Amario said, face card, definitely giving. Congrats to Bryce. Yes, congrats to Bryce indeed. Hey, Rosa. Rosa said, this is positive promotion for Black women because just as much as Nick supported her, she also supported him and shows Black women can be great partners. Absolutely. But that's the thing. Black women are great partners. But, you know, the press hasn't been good on us for some time now. But we up. Brownie said, yeah, I can't get into all that mess. The internet can be a terrible place. Praying for all of those Black women. Absolutely. Social Stuff said, I think the only person that can be the Beyonce, I think the only person can be, only one person can be the Beyonce in a relationship. Yep. God loves his children. Said Nick is the worst guy out there in the world, guys. But I agree. Nick isn't the worst guy out there. He isn't. Ismail Michael said, a lot of these celebrity men only want women who will be arm candy. I don't want that for Ola. Thank you. I absolutely agree. Unique said, love that picture of Bryce. Yes, cheekbones and crimson chin. I'm so happy for him. Neglectic said, I'm so happy for Bryce and Trinity as a whole. They deserve it. I can't wait to see what these kids do. I can't wait. Turtle said they should let him. They should have let him go by his last name. Alakai is giving me more than Bryce. Listen, I don't know. I think Bryce is it. Bryce and them cheekbones, I think that's it. K235 said Bryce is white with a sharp jawline. He was always going to get signed to a modeling agency. Congrats to Trinity's man, though. Oh yeah, well he was already signed, but he wasn't signed by UTA. That's why he was working on trash trucks. He wasn't signed by UTA, child. Simone said Bryce with UTA and Trinity with WME. That's a damn power couple. It sure is. It sure is. Oh, he's part Hawaiian? So I just looked it up. He's part native Hawaiian. Bryce? He was born in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Unique said they're getting to the money. Everybody, man. Hey. L Boogie said he ain't about to fix another truck. That isn't a vintage for fun. Again. Yep.
Grandma about to be on some vacation.
She's so happy for him. Turtle said, I'm glad that they have separate teams too. A lot of these couples in the past have merged their brands and opportunities together too much, and they should not do that. Bad for business. Britt said, get them bags, Brittany. Get them indeed. Sheba said, I'm so happy for him too. I really love his and Trinity's relationship. Same. Baba said, matter of fact, Melanie is so spiritual. She probably was waiting until Mercury retrograde passed. You know what? I think you're right. Zora said Zach knows he has to stick by Kata to have motion, and Kata will stick beside him. We'll see. She back home with the family. You never know. L Boogie said Carl got his future's wife family to help him. He doesn't have to go back to California. Yeah, but I feel like they should be out here just to keep the momentum. You know, I feel like you go back home, you kind of lose sight of everything. Then you start signing up for PT school. I think that's normal, right? You gotta chase the momentum while you can. But we'll see.
Yeah, Taylor was going to veterinarian school, and every time I see him, he out here.
Right. K35 said a lot of these couples in the present merge their brands too quickly, and they shouldn't. We're going to get into it, child. Speaking of getting into it, let's talk about Ciara. So Ciara's had a rough time as the co-host of After Sun. Her and Teffy have it's been rocky, and this is because a lot of people have said that they were male-centered. A lot of people also did not like how a lot of people did not like how it looked as if Teffy and Ciara were more lenient to, the men, especially KC, and not really understanding of Anaya. They didn't like how she cried for KC, but didn't shed a tear.
Who cried for Anaya? Ciara?
Yeah, she hasn't, there's been some critiques.
Yeah, but she's getting to be a bit much. I keep hearing a little bit about her.
Well, listen, she has clapped back. Love Island USA, After Sun's host Ciara Miller claps back at the trolls. I'm going to say my opinion, and this is a us exclusive. Ciara Miller remains unbothered by any and all critics who didn't always agree with her opinion on Love Island USA's After Sun. I think people know I'm not a quiet person, and I definitely am very opinionated. Ciara 30 exclusively shares with us while helping Celsius launch the Spritz Vibe Summer Edition. I think people have thought that I didn't see things or I didn't have an opinion, but no, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just like, F all that, F it. I'm going to say my opinion and I'm putting it on Threads. While the Summer House star understands that the Love Island fans can get passionate about who couples up, it's important to come correct. I'm down to have a conversation. Let's talk about it, she says. I feel like I'm slowly finding my way through the Threads algorithm and world, and also Instagram and everything like that. Back in June, Ciara spoke out after receiving criticism for her response on Love Island's USA After Sun. She wrote, "You guys need to effing relax," Ciara wrote on June 27th. "We filmed 6 hours. Perspectives get left on the cutting room floor. I could psychoanalyze all of Love Island for hours and write a dissertation on Black people and colorism on reality TV. Don't talk to me about how I fail to see any person of color's perspective or how I need more empathy. I've quite literally lived it." When looking back on the season as a whole, Ciara can't help but celebrate all the positive experiences she had filming with her co-host, Tefi Pessoa, and meeting the Love Island USA Season 8 cast. Ciara loved her summer job so much that she hopes to come back next season, and she is. She's currently filming, no, they're talking about Love Island, but she's currently filming Summer House. "I feel like the Islanders, they're my little brothers, my little sisters," she said. "At the same time, I'm the same age as some of them and a couple of years apart from some of them, but I feel like those are my babies. It was such a fun experience, and now I get to see them navigate the real world with their couples." Although Love Island USA may be over for the summer, Ciara's schedule remains jam-packed. In addition to, I forgot that she was on Dancing with the Stars. In addition to prepping for Dancing with the Stars, the reality star is trying to stay energized. Okay, this is becoming a commercial for Celsius. They're just going to talk about how she's filming Summer House.
Well, I think that I'm kind of like leaning to her a little bit, because she made a statement that they cut a lot of things, and they do. You know, probably she said something else, but they wanted it to be centered towards KC, and they cut it out. That's what happens in these edit rooms. So, you know, I feel like Olandria need to get a little bit of her fire. And she said, "Listen, no, I said what I said, and you know, maybe it's not favorable, but I said it. You know what I mean? And some things that I said you don't understand the context because they cut it." And that's the entire story.
I will have to disagree, Mama Star, because I saw it happen in real time. And so here's the thing. The fan base can get a little much, right? So as this happened after the recoupling, the Casa recoupling, that After Sun.
Well, you could disagree because Aoife Empathy, she agrees with me.
And a lot of people did not like how Ciara and Tefi were giving a lot of empathy to the men, but were not the men being Casey and Corbin, and not really understanding Trinity or Anaya. And so they were threatening her, and then Ciara would like clap back in. And here's the thing, there were a lot of people who were saying like negative things to her, but the people that she was replying to weren't saying anything like that. So, you know, she's replying to these people and they're just like, "Why are you being so mean to me?" Then one girl was just like, all I said was that I just didn't agree, but I also said that I love Ciara in the same comment. I'm not understanding why she talked to me like that. And now her fan base is like dragging me. And it just became something so negative. And here's the thing. I tweeted to both of them. I threaded to both of them. And I was just like, y'all got to move differently. It was getting bad. And I tagged Tefi. I don't know her, but I don't know Ciara either, but I was like, Ciara, I had to say something to Ciara because I'm just like, girl, you're about to lose all of your goodwill. here is the thing. Ciara was in a situation and similar to like Olandria, right? Black women are moving in a way where we are becoming each other's army. When we see one of us get disrespected, we won't play. And a lot of us, myself included, was not watching Summer House. But as soon as we saw how Amanda and Wes tried to play in her face, we were like, nah, we gonna get into this show and we're gonna protect her. And you know, she was already a rising star. We helped to get there a little faster, right? So she created this audience of Black women, but this audience of Black women only know her from the Wes and Amanda drama and just really fighting for her and protecting her on Summer House. Now that they're meeting Ciara, they're just like, oh, this is not who we thought she, you know what I mean? Because the way she's responding, and the Black women who she was responding to were just like, girl, I've always been rooting for you. I started following you because I was fighting people about you. So we're all just a little confused how you can't see what's happening to another Black woman that's something very similar to you. And her responses was just so negative. And I think it's because she was digesting all of the negativity from some of the fan base. But there were a lot of people who she responded to who weren't on that type time. And it was not a good look. Both of them, if they come back next year, need to move like Ariana. Ariana don't say nothing about that show. Because last season 7, she got caught up in some mess where she was chatty about Huda. And everybody was just like, well, what about Shelly and Olandria? Why are you mute? I still got beef with her over that, right? So she learned. So she don't say nothing about that show. Ariana, the way she was talking on social media, you would not have thought that she was in Fiji hosting Love Island, because she would say nothing about it. And that's what they need to do. Because you also have to realize that you're just, this job is putting you on a different platform. And you got to act like you've been here before. You can't be fighting and cussing them people out, right? That may have worked for the Summer House fan base. Yeah. It's not going to work for Love Island. Act like you've been here. You can't be cussing out these people and saying F off and all of that stuff and think they're going to eat that. No, they're going to tag the network and be like, yeah, let's not do this. Like the Love Island fan base, no shade to the Summer House, but this fan base is huge. Huge and effective. You can't play with them. So if you don't like something that they said, fine. Maybe while you're doing After Sun, have somebody run your social media. Just post pictures of you and Teffy or stuff like that. Don't interact with the audience, because like I talked about with that girl who was diagnosed schizophrenic, you don't know who you're interacting with. So when you start to get a certain kind of success, you got to back off. You cannot be so available to everybody, because all it takes is one wrong comment and all of your goodwill
is off your mountain.
Because a lot of Black women who were supporting her did not like how she was talking to other Black women about her opinions about another Black woman. And it just did not go in her favor. So although I agree, it could, you can defend yourself if need be, but you have to realize you're in a different place. So you can't defend yourself like you used to before. This ain't Summer House no more. You didn't elevate it to Love Island. It's a juggernaut show. So now you gotta walk a little different. You gotta respond differently. You gotta act like you've been here. So that's my only thing. Like, I get it. I understand, because I saw the comments and I was just like, yeah, I would have felt some sort of way too. I probably would have said something. But I'm Nikki, right? But if I'm Nikki, who's a series regular, I'm not getting in the paint. I'm not letting them mess up this check. I'm not letting people mess up this opportunity, because when it's my time, I'm gonna act like I've been here before. Absolutely. That is my only critique about that. I was just like, girl, you getting a little too familiar with these people.
Yeah.
Wrong road. wrong road. What do you guys have to say? Naima said, I don't know, because also Ciara was calling out KC on something the following week, and then all the KC's fans were on her. I feel like the host should be able to have their own opinions if they're not bashing. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it was back and forth. I was just talking about the fire pit, the Casa recoupling, because that's the moment that she talked about in an article where she told the lady to F off. And she was like, oh my God. Oh, that girl clenched her pearl. She could not believe that Ciara talked to her like that. And then everybody under the comments started comforting her and fighting Ciara. And I was just like, Ciara, log out. Log out. So here's the thing, but I disagree that the hosts should have opinions. They have to be neutral. You gotta be Olandria in this. That's why they're not journalists. You need to sit down with a journalist, right? Because all you're supposed to do is extract information. That's it. You're supposed to, we watch the After Sun to find out to get answers to questions that we had while watching the episodes of the week. You don't need to be having an opinion about Islanders, because this is also a show where voting from the viewing audience matters. So your opinion, especially with you being popular, especially if you being a celebrity, especially if you having a very popular podcast, could be seen as you are trying to sway the audience in favor of a certain Islander. They don't need to have opinions.
Yeah.
They need to extract information and look cute and be funny.
Yeah,
that's it. KT35 says she do need more empathy though. Like in the last episode of After Sun, her and Teffy verbally extended a lot of grace and understanding to Melanie, but very little for Anaya the whole time. We noticed. Turtle said the After Sun hosts just need to learn how to move like Ariana. She was a bit too close with the fans. Yep, in season 6, and swiftly course corrected for season 7. She didn't course correct fast enough, child. Hey, Kodak. Kodak said she could have handled the June response better because she said all that and made 0 actual points on the back end about the same thing she supposedly knows all about, including colorism. NC said, this is why I didn't jump on the Ciara bandwagon when she was going through it with Wes. She is always giving me anti-Black woman. Now, I wouldn't say that she's anti-Black woman, but listen, I can only speak.
She dates white guys.
I can only speak from having a couple posts go viral. It gets to a point where you just want to meet up and beat these people up, right? But I'm just like, girl, don't let these people take your job. Forever said, I was slightly annoyed with Anaya for choosing Casey at the time, but Ciara seemed biased AF against her. It gave me pause. Yikes. Devonda said, Zora, I even have Peacock and watched the After Sun episode, and they were very unserious on there. And the episodes where they had Carl was defending Anaya and Trinity. Shoni said, I think that the host for After Sun should be neutral. Agreed, but the show should bring on past Islanders as hosts to be biased and messy. I agree. And that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Turtle said, on top of feeling overly critical of Anaya, they had an odd protection of Corbin and KC. I don't even rock with Kinsey like that, but trying to invalidate her feelings were hurt at Corbin's comments was weird. KT35 says Ciara did not read the room when it came to understanding the Love Island audience, which includes a lot of Black women. Black women are largely going to call out problematic behavior, even if it's another Black woman. I absolutely agree. Hey, Joe. Joe said, I support all Black people who support Ciara, but I could never personally get behind her because I was aware of her before the West and Amanda scandal, and she's always been a little bit sus to me. See, here's the thing. A lot of people have been saying that. It's just like, oh, y'all don't know Ciara. But listen, I binge watch Summer House, and I still rock with her, but it's just like, girl, you got to stop getting in them comments with them people. Naima said, I think After Sun hosts should have more leeway than Ariana. Like on the UK After Sun, they're very opinionated. I don't really find that a problem. See, that's the UK. This is America. Because see, they had these opinions, and people are
UK
calling them male-centered and colorist.
UK does have a lot to say.
A lot to say. K235 said the way Ciara responded to the concerns coming from Black women in the Love Island audience actually told me a lot. She does not seem to be in community with many, if any, other Black girls. Simone said, is it a reach if I said Ciara 30 showed her bias toward the younger Black woman 23? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think a lot of people were expecting her to give the Black girls on the show grace because she's literally sitting in that chair because Black women gave her grace and fought for her. So I guess the audience who fought for her and pushed her farther into the spotlight was expecting her to do the same thing with Anaya and Trinity, and it didn't happen. Zora says, Ciara dropping the F-bomb so quickly was unexpected. That's not how you check a Black woman, yikes. Or just a fan of a show that you are like hosting. Like, act like you've been here before. Simone says, Ciara failed to read the room. To be shocked at the fans reacting like they did 24 hours after the recoupling happened shows they didn't study the playbook of the show. Like, that was such a heated recoupling. I would not have been on my social media if I was them. I would have wrote one post and been like, so how's everybody doing? And left it for 3 days. DJ said, hello guys, not from America. I'm Albanian. Sorry, my English is not that good. Oh, it's great. You're doing good. I have watched Love Island Albania, not that good, but Love Island in your guys' country is good to watch or not. It's good. Check it out. We're talking about it right now. It's a really, really good show, GJ. Check it out. And thank you for tuning in. Turtle says, this can all be solved if they just scrap episode and give us unseen bits. Like we've been asking for years. I agree. I do like After Sun, though. I mean, if you're going to scrap the part with the host, at least keep the part where we see them get their phones back. I like that. Now, you even said that I can understand. I've caught up to Love Island UK, and I've honestly enjoyed it a little bit more because there's less of an emotional reaction from the audience. Yep. Hey, Janelle. Janelle said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Mama Star. Hey, Star family. Joined late. It's finals week. You joined at the right time. Good luck on those finals. We know you got it, but, sending goodwill to you. Give Me Chocolate said, I only kind of rock with Ciara because of y'all. In my opinion, the only Black people she knows are in her immediately. She got Mia and, I forgot my baby's name. Who? DJ KJ. KT35 said, my thing is if she's not going to give Anaya grace or whatever, don't run around and give Melanie grace for making even more foolish choices than Anaya did then. That I can agree with. We're going to end here with Blue Jay and then get into KC and TT's podcast and then wrap it up. Blue Jay said, hello, Star family. I literally got done watching your latest live. I couldn't watch it when I saw the breakup. I'm just happy we saw love, care, and they did things that I don't know if we will see. Yeah, just happy that they, gave us some kind of crumbs. Let's get into... Oh, yeah, Blue Jay, I'm on TikTok. I haven't checked my messages for a minute because for some reason, I think I'm going viral in Nigeria. I don't know. I'm just getting like a lot of like Nigerian men out of nowhere. So I haven't checked them for a minute because like I delete all those messages and then it's 300 more when I come. Something's going on. It's weird. I don't know if people are sharing my post. I don't know what's happening, but it's weird.
You better get some posts from some Nigerian.
I don't know. I think it's probably my 90-day fiance stuff. I don't know what's happening, but I'm just like, oh God, how are y'all finding me of all people? I used to get like every now and then like old white guys, but now it's just like I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I'm on TikTok. Message me if you let me know that you're messaging me. I'll go look. DJ said, our reality shows love drama. We also have Big Brother. Oh, man. Oh, Big Brother. Yes, I'm getting into that, guys. I'm just traveling, so I'm trying to not do too much right now until I can fully commit, and I'll probably get into it when I come back. Black Power said, Olandria is powerful on her own without a white man on her arm. Bingo. I'm glad she disentered men from her brand. I don't believe they are PR because of that, but she is the program. I hope her fans sees this. I agree. I don't know. I think it's my 90-Day Fiance stuff that I do. I think so.
Casey,
but
I'm
it's
crying,
like
Nikki. How you go
every time. Every time I go to my TikTok, I'm like, who shared my? I don't know what's happening, but my messages are crazy. Let's get into Casey and TT. So Casey and TT debuted their joint podcast. TT and Casey's podcast, Our Story.
Hooray.
And their YouTube name, if you want to go follow, is Official Casey and TT. So let's talk about the interview. They interviewed each other. So I'm just going to talk about what was said, and then I'll get into my opinions. Then Mama Star will get into her opinions, and then we'll get into what you guys have to say. So everything we told this couple not to do, they did. That's what this podcast proved for me. They listened to that demonic fan base, and they started a podcast. No. But let's keep on going. I will give them this. They're a good looking couple.
Yeah. TT
is beautiful. That hair, gorgeous couple. He's a handsome guy. Man. And so they speak and they said that they wanted to do this podcast to clear the air, and they wanted to do it on their own terms because they wanted it to be a safe space, and they speak about their mental health. Now, I will say this, it was kind of odd because they kept on saying like mental health as if it was a diagnosis. And I was just like, well, what mental, like what is the mental health? They just kept on saying mental health. And I'm like, depression, like what? They never named it. She
did say she deals with
no, but they were naming mental health as like it was the disorder. You know what I mean? Or like,
yeah.
It's just instead of saying like depression, they would say my mental health is acting up. And I'm like, no, baby, that's the term. What's happening here? But the babies, they are babies. But you could also tell that no one is advising them. And I hate this. I don't know what happened, because even though they were not that well liked, I felt like they had some momentum. So I'm just not understanding how these two still do not have a team, because my mother could not stop looking at TT's flats. My mom was like, why did she move them shoes?
They in the shop.
My mom was like, the shoes are in the shop. Why didn't she move them shoes?
It's just nobody is there.
That's why I was just like, is nobody helping them, is advising them? Because like a manager would have caught the shoes.
A manager would have told her to take them shoes off over there and put them over there.
Yes.
But she must can't walk in them.
Even still, a manager would have got the shoes. You cannot leave this show and not build some kind of team. But my mom, those shoes every time we got a shot of the shoes, she's just so annoyed. And it's just like, even if you can see the shoes while filming, a manager would have took it out in editing. It's just like, Casey and TT, you need management. You need management, because this is still a good opportunity. And if you do not have management, you're going to do things like do a couples podcast. Moving on. You could also tell that although good-looking couple, they're not media trained. And who is, right? You're not media trained until you are. So I'm not holding that against them. But you need media training, because throughout this podcast, I felt like they were killing a lot of opportunities. But we will get into that after. With the right team, they can go far. They both speak about the hate that they received. They spoke about being hated a lot. That was the bulk of the podcast. They spoke about the hate that they received, especially when they got their phones back. They spoke about the hate that they received from the Black community and how the Black community tore them down. Then they spoke about the memes, and I do agree about those memes. We even talked about that here on Nikki'Star TV. The Photoshop pics of TT and Casey. In Casey's words, he said, "Yo, that was weird. That was weird." And I'll add racist because also the way that Titi was being photoshopped, I didn't see her being photoshopped as the gorilla, but I saw them, the Photoshop pictures or the AI pictures of her with muscles. Titi clarifies her statement and says that she doesn't believe that people did not like them because they were a Black couple, but she does think that it was classism. I still disagree with that. I don't think that it was classism. I don't think that it was racism. Hello, Serena and Cordell. I just don't think that these two realized that people just didn't like what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being like, I messed up, they go, oh, you don't like me because I'm working class. Oh, you don't like me because I'm Black. Now, there may be some people who don't like you because you're working class. There may be some people who do not like you because you're Black. But the audience that was rooting for KC to win it all with Anaya did not dislike you because you were Black. Like this season, had it been up to this audience before KC did all of that, we would have had another Black winning couple of Love Island. Is nobody telling them that? Like, I don't get that. Go ahead.
But some things just not supposed to be, just like Olandria and Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Him and Anaya. No, they are coming from two different worlds, and it just wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
And with her getting Carl, them hooking up was a better fit.
Yeah.
And he sounded like he was intimidated by that relationship.
Oh, he was.
Or like he couldn't fulfill.
Yeah. He probably felt like he wouldn't have fit into her life. Yeah. Like Melanie said.
Yeah. And so he went with somebody that, he was more familiar with when he met her.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with that. But those two, they need direction.
Yeah.
They, I really felt sad for them in this interview because, no training. They just on there. They just talking, and then she's talking about, I didn't live nowhere before here. I was living in my car and I was bullied. And I mean, she didn't need to say all of that. That, that took away to me. Yeah. She didn't need to say that. What she needed to talk about is where her experience in the island and what life looks like now. Yeah, for them too. Yes. What are we going to do now? She said that they're together or whatever, and they like to laugh. You know what I mean, and whatever. But all of that, heaviness, it really made me think that she was angry. She's angry, because she said, I had trauma and I was depressed and I was all of these things that she was. And so when they got into that verbal thing, that solidifies that she's angry inside. Yeah. No, if somebody would have talked to her, they would have said, do not visit that. Yeah. Don't bring these things up. Yes. We need you to talk about how life looks like now. And give her some pointers on what
you see. Trinity doing. Said, "I love everybody. We're all friends. We're family."
Yeah,
and she ain't talking to half the people, but she got media trained with the quickness.
Somebody should have told her, those girls. I met some nice girls there. Yeah, I hope we can still hang out. And you're talking about nobody liked y'all. And for a whole day, nobody talked to y'all. Like a week, nobody talked to y'all. And things like that. That's showing that there was a discrepancy on the island. Even though we already knew that, because when they came back, he was hostile and so was she. Yeah. Because he felt like he wronged Anaya. He felt guilty coming back with her. He even said, I was nervous coming, back with her. So, listen, I don't know where this is going to go for them, but I wish them good.
Same. The best. Then they spoke of their time in the villa. Titi says that she wishes that they would have showed when Casey helped take her braids down. She said that was a really nice moment, and she was hoping that would be shown on the show. And I thought that would have been a cute moment. I would have liked seeing that. I'll give her that. Then Casey said he he loved the karaoke challenge, and you could tell that he was telling the truth. He lit up. Yeah. He was so like, monotone, the whole interview. And then when he talked about the karaoke challenge, he sat up straight. He was so happy. He said he felt like it was a shift in the villa after that. And we talked about that. So I can agree with that. We were all like, they needed to have some fun. Yeah. And he said it really changed. The villa lit up after that. So he really...
they need to host karaoke night.
Yeah. Yeah. Smart idea.
To host karaoke nights, and people will come out. Yeah. And pay to come in and see. They need to start doing something instead of still talking about.
Yes. Everybody don't like us.
Yeah. Why us? And nobody liked us but Corbin. Okay. Capitalize off of that and go do something positive. Start having karaoke night. Invite them. Yeah. To the karaoke night. You know what I mean?
There's money to be made. Yeah. There's money to be made. But he really loved the karaoke challenge. He had a good time doing that. Then he says, and this threw me, he said that he didn't have any friends in the villa and he didn't feel like he was liked. I'm like, huh? The only time we've ever seen Sincere cry was when you were eliminated. He tormented Melanie for 6 weeks, hadn't shed a tear. When you were eliminated, he broke. He couldn't even talk. He's like, I'm gonna miss you, man. Like, what do you? I know Sincere was watching that, probably, doing a retwist, and I know he watched that and said, "Excuse me, excuse me." But I thought that was so weird that he said that he didn't have any friends in the villa and he wasn't liked.
But then later he said him and Corbin. He said something about him and Corbin.
Oh, it's so weird. Then Casey speaks of his mental health. We don't know what the mental health is, but he keeps on speaking about his mental health and how after the fire pit, he was so depressed. And I get that you felt bad, but there are consequences to action. So I get that. Then they go back to speaking about how, basically victimizing themselves yet again. I will say they spent a lot of the podcast talking about how people don't like them, and then like talking,
negative,
like just it was very sad. It was I thought it was gonna be something else, but it was very sad, and I was like, oh guys, this shouldn't be your first podcast out.
And they were saying that they like to laugh,
but we didn't really, they spent so much time. Then TT says that Casa girls are always hated, and I'm like, is this your first time watching Love Island? Because there are a lot of Casa girls that are still very popular with the fan base. TT, you and Casey just came in horribly. It wasn't a good look. This is not, she kept on saying Casa girls are just not like, people don't like Casa girls. And it's just like, that's not it. That's not it. If anything, this was the one we were rooting for everybody.
Because Nadia Papaya was a Casa girl.
No, she was a bombshell. She was a bombshell. Okay. Then TT says that she spoke up because at the fire pit, she spoke up because Casey shouldn't have been spoken to that way. And she did that because she was bullied, and Casey is a good guy who helps with the elderly people. And then Casey goes, yeah, I'm CNA. They're just,
I hate him for saying that.
You hate him. Don't say you hate him.
Well, I don't like that he said that. Like, dude, come on, we're trying to bring you and her up.
Yeah. Casey says that he liked that TT didn't want to explore anyone but him. Here's the thing. So he's saying that he would tell her, he'd be like, you don't want to explore Corbin. You don't want to explore Sincere. She was like, no, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And he said he really liked that. And I'm just like, okay. So you like that she didn't want to explore anybody but you.
Yeah, that feeds his ego.
But it's just like, but you didn't like it when Anaya didn't want you, or when you felt like Anaya didn't want you to explore any other person.
No, he said that she didn't want to explore nobody else. He said that.
No, he kept on saying no. But KC, when he was in the village, he said the only reason why he was not exploring Soul was because of Anaya.
Right.
But yet you like the fact that TT doesn't want to explore anybody but you.
Yeah, because that defeats his ego. She don't want nobody but him. She said, I'm not going to explore nobody else.
So it's cool when he do it. It's a problem when anybody else do it. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. Then they talk about the love. Finally, they talk about the love that they got from their fan base. And Casey talks about the edits that he saw, and he loved the LeBron edit. So whoever made that edit, let Casey know that you were the one that did it, because he loves that edit. He said that's what I came on the show for, and I've achieved that, so I'm good. Casey says that he wants to get into modeling and into acting and into streaming. Yikes. When he said streaming, my heart, I said, oh Lord. Titi says that she wants to act as well. But that's something that I think we all pretty much knew. They both speak about wanting to help their communities, and they give advice to others who want to come on Love Island. And basically, they're just like, be ready for your world to change. TT let you know that they don't like Casa girls. That's not true. The way you came in just wasn't the best. Here's what I will say about this overall podcast. I feel it was a bad idea. And I don't think they're going to realize that until much later in life, because in the comments, everybody's saying, oh, this is the way you do it. This is how you do it. And they're hyping them up. But I'm just like, you are hyping them up to go backwards. And that is the problem. They're making really poor decisions, and they have a fan base who is hyping up those poor decisions. They need a team.
Yeah, they don't have nobody to tell them that.
They need a team expeditiously. They need an agent. They need a manager. They need a PR rep expeditiously.
They need something.
They need it, because although, yes, they weren't really well liked, but there is buzz around them. And they need this team to get to work before the buzz around them dies out. It is not smart for very young people, early to mid 20s, who knew each other for 2 weeks before they became boyfriend and girlfriend, to do a joint podcast. This is something that married people do. You two are still very fresh in this relationship, fresh out the villa.
Need a PR team
immediately. Right now, you guys are being bonded together because of this show. You won't have the same perspective a month from now, a couple months from now, a year from now. You have put together a podcast where I don't even think y'all know what your next podcast is going to be. You both are not properly media trained. And so you're going to get up on this podcast and probably say some stuff that you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm just like, you need to have a team. But also, you have joined together barely knowing each other. There were ads, so you're monetizing this channel. Y'all done already became business partners. Now money is involved. And you two do not know each other that well. This wasn't a smart thing to do. I think the smartest thing for them to have done after, because I felt like them being quiet was because they was making moves. I didn't know the next move was going to be a joint podcast. I was like, so nobody's helping. Nobody's helping, because this is what you would do if you're 23 and you don't really know what to do with all this motion that you got. A joint podcast with a girl you just met is not smart. I thought that they were assembling a team, like the Avengers, assembling a team. Here's what I would have done for you if I was a part of your team. I would have told you both to do your own YouTube channels, separate YouTube channels. TT needs a YouTube channel just about beauty. The girl is studying, banging body. She needs to be doing hair and fashion.
Yeah, and makeup.
Hair, fashion, and makeup. Casey, Gen Z loves his style. There are guys out there who absolutely love his style. He should just be doing vlogs and fashion content on his separate YouTube channel. When they wanted to do an interview, they either should have filmed this podcast and put it on their separate channels, or went to a Black neutral podcaster and because your audience is Black people. That's it, right? So you should have went to a popular neutral podcaster
and sat down with them.
Somebody who was older, who doesn't really follow Love Island, who will not only interview you about the show, but will start to talk to you about different subjects, right? If I was also a part of your team, I would have reached out to Black media outlets and had them interview you. I would have pulled an Essence photo shoot. I would
They
have,
did a photo shoot, and I like their photo
gorgeous photo shoot.
Yes.
It should have been in Essence. Should have been in Essence. I would have had them sit down with this podcaster who talks about, or journalist who talks about Love Island, gets to know them, and then they start asking you different questions, right? Then they start asking you questions about, career aspirations and who do you want to meet? Who's the celebrity in your DMs? Like, just fun stuff. Because what this podcast was to do, if I was on your team, I would have made sure that that podcast rehabbed your image. I would have focused on Black love. That's your thing, right? So I would have focused on you two laughing with each other, you two finishing each other's sentences. Even if we had to plan some of the stuff that was said, we're trying to get to the money, right? Then I would have also made sure that your goals or what you want to do would be talked about in that podcast. We absolutely would have talked about what's next for you in the villa. If you were to do this joint podcast, I feel like this should have been 10 minutes about Love Island. Everything else should have been like, well, that's our story. Now, that's our Love Island story. That chapter is closed. Get to know me and KC. And then y'all start telling us about each other. Y'all tell us some funny things like, oh, you don't know this, but in the 12th grade, KC, a fun fact, KC performed Michael Jackson at his high school talent show. Here's the video. You need to rehab your image. You need to, because KC, I knew that from just on his TikTok. He's obsessed with Michael Jackson. And you should have had a moment where you said, KC, did y'all know that KC can moonwalk? KC, let's see it. And have KC do his Michael Jackson impression or whatever. You guys were supposed to make people who already love you even more, and people who are on the fence about you subscribe to that podcast.
And people who don't know you.
Yes. You also have to realize that there's people who are watching that who don't know you guys. Yeah. And you are sitting here talking about how the Black community hates you and how people were treating you this way because you were Black, how non-Black people treated you this way because you're Black, and how Black people treated you this way because you're working class. That was the whole podcast. And never acknowledging that the treatment that you received, the same treatment that you received, was because of your actions. KC, I don't know how he still does not know yet that he was winning season 8. He was winning season 8. He ruined everything for himself the minute he cussed not at Melanie, but about Melanie. He called her a dumbass. That was the first sign, and we were like, who's that? Then I spoke life into her. Then it's the game you're playing back and forth with Soul. Then it's going to Casa in the way you and Corbin sat down and talked about the women. Then it's coming back, and TT, we don't know you, right? We're only getting to meet just bits of you in Casa. You come back and you get into it with the most popular girl on the show.
Yeah.
Who everybody said, no matter who she's with, she's winning this money. And the reason why I was disappointed in TT, because you watched the show.
Right.
You had the same information that I had. And you still chose to act that way and react that way. And y'all also act like we didn't see you all laughing at Anaya while she was having a panic attack. We also didn't see you try TT several times to get KC to gossip about Melanie and Sincere, especially Melanie. We also act like we didn't see you guys disparaging Anaya and Melanie. You also act like we didn't see movie night. And how TT, you sat there and smiled and laughed when all the girls were being betrayed and, crying and being mortified. They're sitting over there disgusted and feeling humiliated. You and Amora are sitting there laughing. So that is why certain people feel the way that they feel about you, and this podcast is not helping them understand you even more. I would have said, if I was you, I would have been like, a lot of people were, making comments about me at movie night saying I was laughing at, certain clips. But I just want to let y'all know, we filmed that for 16 hours. What I was laughing at was not what was shown. I would have never laughed at another woman being humiliated. This is your time to go full power.
Yeah, and show who you are.
This is not your time to let us know that you ain't friends with these people.
Yeah.
Because then we're like, oh, we love them, so what happened?
And she let us know that she's not a likable person because you don't have no friends.
I just felt like this was their moment to really go out there and grab opportunities. But all you did was tell brands that you're not liked because you're working class and you're not liked because you're Black.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the hell would they want to invest in y'all? You're Debbie Downers. You're Debbie Downers.
Mm-hmm.
And then your fan base is so negative. I just wish I knew they were going to listen to them people. I knew they were going to listen to them people, and I knew they were going to allow themselves to crash and burn. I don't know, because I don't know who's. I feel like nobody's advising them, and they're just not making wise decisions. Now, KC and TT are doing this podcast. KC is heavily red-pilled. TT is heavily male-centered. This is not going to go well. This is not going to go well. They also do not know each other, and they're starting a business together.
Right.
This is not going to go well. And it sucks because, again, this was an opportunity to rehab their image, and they didn't rehab it. But listen, there are people who will rock with them no matter what. More power to them. The more power. It is disappointing because although I wasn't a fan of their performance on the show, I still want them to win. I think this because we're watching people who we didn't know 6 weeks ago signed with freaking UTA. This is a huge opportunity. They should be eating off of this. But they're just not, in my opinion, I don't think they're making the best decisions. And I hope before it's too late, somebody properly advises them. But it seems like they're going to go down the red pill road, and that's just no longer profitable. So that's all I have to say, Mama Star.
I feel the same way. I feel like they're going nowhere fast. They don't have any direction. No one is, advising them. And they had their own. They wrote down on a book what they were going to ask each other, and it was just they asked the question, but they didn't answer it, and it was just a lot of gibberish. And it seemed like they were trying to, tell people that you only seen one side of what happened in the villa, but this is what happened, and I wasn't doing this. And
it's like everybody was mean to me. Nobody liked me. Casey said he didn't have any friends. Nobody. And they
was all hanging with him.
Why would you distance yourself from the people that we're currently talking about? Bad business move. Now you didn't shut off. You didn't cut off whatever relationships you had because you said them people didn't like you. What are we doing here?
Yeah. So I just feel like somebody need to get them before they train wreck. And the good thing about it is they do have the reunion coming up. So if they can get some help between now and the reunion and come back, because they want to get another opportunity for the people to see them. So if they can come back and say, try to clean up their images. I mean, I would love to see that.
Because right now this is a sweet spot. Before the reunion, this is the sweet spot. You got to grab the opportunities.
But if they come back with all that fighting, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap. Going back.
Stop listening to that fan base. They are not helping. Yeah, they are not helping. Oh Lord, that's all me and Mama Star have to say. What do you guys have to say? Oh, we got a super chat. Afro Thunder is here. What's up? Afro Thunder said, I agree with TT. She said it's not that people dislike them because they were black, but the reason that the hate and disrespect went so far online is because they were darker black people. I agree the same way white people can have black friends and talk bad about bad blacks. Now that I will agree as well. But that's not who I think they're talking about. Like there are people who are, I don't think, a part of this fan base, but who are looking for a moment. If they see these black people aren't like, they're going to use it as a way to get out their racism. That I absolutely know what's happening to them, and I do not agree with that as well. I fear that they keep on isolating the fan base or the viewers who are going to get them the money with this narrative that they were bullied, that they did nothing wrong, that nobody liked them. Because you are showing people that, one, you're faking two-face because you apologize.
Yeah.
You made up with them people. You said you were friends. Then you got out the bill and said you're not friends with those people. And then you
was hugging them and they was
hugging them and y'all crying and then you go to say that
I have no friends.
You go to say that the respect that you had in the villa, you still have. So why did you apologize? Because you were
told them to.
Because you were getting redemption. The redemption was there. Every time you get redemption, you snatch it back. And it's so frustrating for me as a viewer and as a black woman, right? And as somebody who is older, who is just like opportunities and I'm from the same place they from. Opportunities like this don't happen for people like us. So I'm just like, y'all need to get it before it's too late. You're in the sweet spot now before the reunion. So you are going to be talked about until that reunion. Because when that reunion hit, the breakout stars are the only one people are going to talk about.
And I want to say this. No one is, I'm not mad at him not choosing Anaya.
I think they both make the best decision.
Yeah, themselves. Me too. But I'm not mad that he did not choose Anaya. That's your choice. But the cockiness, the disrespect, and all of that. After you said she was the blueprint, then you shouldn't have said that speech, young blood. That's what people are really honing in on. You made her the safe place for you to stay here. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Because then you come back and say all of these things that you wanted to explore. So you should have. But you were safe with Anaya. And people can see through you. And Anaya was upset because she was being he was staying with her to be safe. So he didn't have to go home. So when he came back with Titi, he was feeling guilty. He couldn't stand up as a man to bring her back because of how he had, he wrote her a letter and all this and that. He did so much. And then when he got there and started saying Anaya, who, grandmama, and all this and that, that's where his hate come from. His dislike come from.
Yeah.
But even in that, he still got a ways to come back, but he don't know how to paddle back to shore.
This should have been. Listen, y'all don't really know what happened in there. With that movie night, I was sick to my stomach. I didn't even realize I said half of those things.
Right.
And shout out to Anaya. Me and her didn't work out, but I got mad love and respect for her.
Bingo.
And I think I love her and Carl. Carl is my dude. Like, he should have also been like, y'all just need to chill. We all love each other. There is no hate there. But they double down on the stuff that that toxic fan base is saying. I'm just like, y'all got to stop listening to them people. Them people are not going to help you win. They are negative. They made you guys the mascot of their hate. This opportunity might never come back around for y'all.
But they still have an opportunity.
Y'all got time.
Before they get to the reunion.
Yeah, they got time.
And then they can come back to the reunion and say, you know what? We was feeling a little X, Y, and Z. we apologize. You know, they have an opportunity to fix it, but somebody got to get them. And somebody here said, Nikki, you need to get them.
That fan base. I listen. If I'll do it in secret, and I'll say, don't you tell nobody I helped you. But that fan base, I want no parts. I want no parts.
Blue Jay.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Afro Thunder.
Blue Jay said you need to get him. What's your rate?
I want no parts of that fan base. Hey, Texas Spice. Thank you for the super chat. Texas Spice said all I heard was victim noises. A waste of time.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. That wasn't the time for you to say that everybody's being mean to me. That was the time for you to reintroduce yourself. Right. Because also you have to realize it's not just your fan base that's watching. There's people on YouTube who don't know who you are. This was the time for you to introduce yourself to the audience, and y'all didn't. Y'all didn't. Thank you so much, Texas Spice, for the super chat. KT35 said, is Anaya also a darker black person? Mind you, Anaya is literally darker than both KC and TT. Yep. But that's the thing. It's like they wanted grace to be extended to them that they did not give to Anaya. And that's what people were upset about. It was just like, you guys were mean. You weren't nice.
Right.
That's what we were talking about. And then you make up with these people, then get out the villa, and all of a sudden you take everything back. It's not a good look.
Not a good look at all.
Arabi said mainstream media ain't good though. Football YouTuber proved to the NCAA that he got more money off of YouTube than many NFL players had he gone pro back when he was forced to choose between YouTube and NCAA. Well, listen, that's true. That's different, right? This ain't the NCAA. KC wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
TT wants to be an actor. You got to show up like this is your resume. Because you have to show up like you're in a casting office right now.
Yeah.
That's how you have to show up. Yeah. This is work for
you're
you.
Auditioning
how you feel,
for an agency.
Yes, you're auditioning for an agency. Thank you, Mom. How you feel and all of that, that's kitchen table talk. Yeah, how you and Anaya feel about the Islanders.
That's pillow talk. Y'all need to keep that in the pillow.
Yes, how you and Anaya feel about the fan bases. I mean, how you and TT feel about the fan bases, kitchen table or pillow talk. Yeah. You don't spew that to the masses. You don't let them know that because this is you auditioning. You ain't been signed yet, so this is you auditioning.
Yeah, every time you come out, you're supposed to represent yourself in a good light because you want somebody. These people have been picked up. You haven't been picked up.
And this was also the time to be like, you guys saw this, but you didn't know this has actually happened. And Nuke said this. Nuke said, and how KC didn't try to console Anaya, but was quick to console Soul over a pie challenge.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good look. And this would have been your moment to be like, oh, well, they didn't show this or that. That's what I thought that podcast is going to be about. What you guys didn't see, the truth about what really happened. And now that you guys have that, let us reintroduce ourselves. I'm KC, I'm TT, and this is what we do, and this is who we are, and this is what we're going to do on this channel for you. This was your way to build off of the momentum.
And to turn your fan base around. Yes. Let them know, guys, this ain't cool.
Yeah, we don't do that over here.
We don't do that over here. If you coming like that, leave today.
Because you're letting brand know. You have to let brands know that you're safe now. You're not safe because of that fan base.
Yeah. And you're not safe because of how you portrayed yourself. You did not
even if he portrayed himself like that, if he stood on that apology and then came on here and set the record straight.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just watching so much money just pour through that kid's hands. Blue Jay said, I think it would be cute if TT and Casey and Anaya had a photo shoot or a cute segment showing them enjoying each other's presence. I like how Trinity Kata had their hair done together. Absolutely.
But Anaya's not going to do that.
Well, it's obviously they're not friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not friends. Shiva said, I am a black woman and I cannot stand tweet. Doesn't make me racist. I don't like her character. I don't have any... I don't know her enough to not like her character. For me personally, I just didn't like her performance in that villa.
Yeah.
And I just felt like this is a time for us to get to know you, and this is a time for you guys to redeem any bad will that you had. But they listened to that fan base, and they are now saying they're the victims. Now they're going to lead into racism and classism is the reason why I don't have the things that I have. And it's just like that.
And that's unfair.
That pity party is not going to get you any money.
Yeah, that's unfair.
It's not going to take you any far.
Listen, you have to have thick skin in this business. And you can't, pout about everything. Okay, that's what happened in the villa. Put the villa behind you and go get this bag. Y'all don't know how to get the bag. That's the problem.
Yep. Give me Chelsea said, I bet you Casey and TT didn't even watch the episodes, but are just emotionally reacting to reactions and review videos. I fear that these two don't know how to win in this stage in their lives. I mean, of course, how would they? They've never been here before. They're very young.
Yeah.
No guidance. Oh, I feel so bad for them. It's sad. It's sad because it's just like, this is an opportunity for you to eat, and you are just not ready. Black Power said Casey and TT didn't talk bad about anyone. They can't express themselves. Again, a certain push is happening. That's not true. They have to be responsible for their actions. They were even, KC particularly, was disgusted by the things that he said and did at movie night. Yeah. That's why he apologized before he even knew that he had a fan base. That is why he apologized. He couldn't even watch himself. That's how disgusted that he was. There's not a certain push. We're not going to do this whole thing where this is happening to him because he was a black man, because as a dark-skinned black woman, I kind of hate that. I hate that because you are protecting him and overlooking the harm that he caused to a black woman and a dark-skinned black woman. And that is a problem in the black community. You overlook the harm and abuse that black men do to black women, dark-skinned black women, and children, and you favor these black men. And that is why we have all these black men out here who are just ignorant embarrassments, because the black community protects them at all costs, even if they are killing us. And we have to stop that. Casey was wrong. He admitted that he was wrong. He got out the villa, and the toxic black community told him that he did nothing wrong. And that is the problem with our community. The black community is male-centered. That is why we cannot grow, because our power is in empowering the women. Yeah, and we don't do that. We take the power from the women. We beat up the women. We destroy the women. We tell the kids to shut up. We don't protect our children. We don't protect our women. We put everything in the black men, and look at where it has gotten us. We have to stop that.
And a lot of these black men are raised by single mothers. And these single mothers are trying to compensate for a father not being there. And they make them the man of the house or protect them. We really are doing ourselves as black people a disservice by not teaching our men. Now, he was wrong. He admitted that he was wrong. He mistreated her, and he did not. He was not fair to her because he wanted to explore, but he was afraid that he would get put off the show.
He was not doing something that a lot of the guys in the villa were doing, and this happens a lot on Love Island, right? The guys who come on the show know it's a girl show, right? So what they do is they want to explore, but they don't want to lose the girl that they're with.
Yeah.
So they act like they're coupled up and closed off with this girl because they also don't want her to go and explore. Because what if she explores and she likes somebody else? Then you're in jeopardy. It's a game show. You got to stay on till the end. You got to get to the final four. Everybody's doing what they can to get to the final four. It's a game show. So we can't sit up there and say that Anaya's wrong and he's right because he wants to explore, but Anaya's wrong because he feels like she won't let him explore. We have to tell the truth of the situation. He made Anaya believe that they were safe and secure, even though he wanted to explore soul. And the reason why he did that is because he doesn't want to lose his position.
Anybody tell you the blueprint, you telling me in so many words you love me.
Yeah.
And she felt like, the blueprint. So she felt
KC.
like,
Oh,
she felt like we were safe.
yeah.
But he wanted to
Explore soul.
and he wasn't honest.
Yes.
And sometimes
he wasn't honest because he didn't want her to like pull back from him and try to see what it is with something else.
He didn't
somebody
want
else.
to go somewhere else and maybe lose her or maybe lose his opportunity. Because let's go all the way back to nobody picked him at the door.
Yeah.
That was his issue. So he was trying to take the safe.
And he never talked about the door. I wish that y'all should have talked about that door.
He took the safe way out, and then when he went to the to Casa Amigo, wherever he went, Casa Amor, when he went there, he just went crazy because he was away from Anaya. And he felt like, I can, you know, he didn't know that they were taping that to show.
Yeah, he didn't know. A lot of them didn't know.
And he was, you know, he was large and in charge. And then when he got a chance to look at it himself,
he didn't like it, guys.
He was embarrassed.
Why if the person
even though he still
didn't like it, why are you saying that it's okay?
Protecting him? Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah.
Zora said, I don't know, maybe before the podcast it would have been cute to see them collab, but I'm not sure if it's the best thing for Naya to tie herself with. No, absolutely not. Leave them people alone. Leave them people alone. Amira said they could have just did a TikTok live and called it a day and do separate YouTube channels. That would have been smart. Simone said, I'm not surprised those two took this right. The scratches to the ego were going to drive them to seek shielding from the toxic section of the Black community. Yep. Dr. Imani said, I'm in the medical field, and believe me, being a nurse, doctor, etc., does not automatically mean a good person. There are a lot of bad people in some of these professions. I agree. KT35 said people will tune into the podcast in the beginning just because they like the negativity, and agree KC shouldn't be held accountable for what he said or done, but that will not be long-lasting money-paying audience. Absolutely not. Because the thing about it is, I don't think that KC is negative, and that's why that audience likes him. When he starts being positive, because I believe them both, but they said that they want to work and help their community. When they start doing stuff like that, those people aren't going to engage. They want to see them say negative things about Anaya.
Yeah.
They want to see them disparage Anaya. And I don't know, they can either, you know, go positive or become rage baiters. It's seeming like they might be on the rage bait road. I hope not.
I hope not too. It seems like they're unlearned. That's all.
Yeah.
And if someone sit them down and pull their coat, I think they can turn this around. I really believe that. And I hope that they can turn it around, because there's a lot of money on the table for those two. And, you know, it would be just a missed opportunity if they did not
take this,
you know, capitalize off of it. They done been over there, and he said that one day he didn't want to even get up. Capitalize off of it. Get your money off of it. You know what I mean? So, I hope somebody rescue them too.
Hope they'll listen. Be Yourself said, disrespect will get him nowhere, especially disrespecting a Black woman. I wish them the best, but I won't support. Turtle said the worst part is they gave them a redemption narrative within the show.
Yes.
Even the show that his fan base is saying is trying to take him down, they gave them a redemption arc.
Yes.
I remember when people who were rooting for Anaya was pissed about that, because they were getting a redemption arc and they were posting them all over their social media, talking about how much they love TT and KC. And then KC and TT came out and started listening to the audience who said that Peacock was trying to take them down because they're Black. Peacock, who has several other reality TV shows and who was also under NBC, you two want to be actors. They have other shows where they can put you on, and you're listening to the fan base that says that they're trying to destroy you. You're not smart. You're not smart. Stop listening to them people. They're watching you for a reason. They gave them a redemption narrative with the show. Like, everyone apologized and moved on. They could have kept up the same energy, but they wanted to wallow. Yep.
They should say anybody that's hating on Anaya.
Yeah, like we're family. Like, kill that. We love them.
You know,
I would even call Anaya on the phone and be like, "Hey, sis, what's up?" Yeah, it's like. Anyway, Raby said mainstream media ain't good. Oh, I got that. Hey, Camilla. Camilla said, I just really wish they would capitalize on a community aspect. Yeah, Casey has a run club. TT seems to be connected to music, do events, tap into the power of the community. Yes, they should be doing club appearances.
Yeah.
Run club appearances. Like, there's so much that those two could be doing. I hope that's the last time we hear about woe is me on that podcast.
Yep.
Kodak said, mind you, all those boys defending him at the fire pit, including the ones who are supposedly Anaya's friends, cough, cough, sincere, but he don't have no friends. Oh my gosh.
Well, people probably disconnected themselves from them because of how they're moving.
Yep. Donnie said, Taylor wants to hang out with KC, and that's not good. He better not do it. He better not do it. Dr. Imani said, unfortunately, the fan base keeps coddling KC. I saw one in the comments telling KC he did nothing wrong to Anaya. And if he feeds into that, that's his check. KG35 said, both Anaya and Trinity are darker than KC and TT. So how do we explain to the audience the Bryce and Anaya and Trinity, yet criticizing KC and TT? Yep. Ryan says, it's very weird, and so I don't want to hear it when people go off on them at the reunion. How you move after the reunion is very important. Camilla said it's the mismatch between his words and actions. Yes, when that happens, people feel uncomfortable. Sheba said it's too much double speak with him because one minute you apologize and say you have resentment, and the next you claim you were bullied and didn't have any friends. Like, what are you doing? Stop listening to them people. Oh, Lord. Whitwood said Casey and TT are game players. They are in it for opportunities and money. Well, help them with their game. Help them with their game.
Because they're not playing right.
Zora said, Cameron, she said it. They need a team to advise them, a manager for starters to help them navigate their new career. They do. They absolutely do. Blue Jay said, I hate that trend of brands commenting on folks. Of course they don't care, but they should have learned after the stunt they pulled on Shelly. Yeah, the brands were doing a lot, especially with the women. I did not like that whole thing they were doing with Melanie. Come here, we'll pay you this if you leave him. They're doing too much. They're doing too much. They shouldn't be team anybody.
Yeah.
They should just be like, oh my goodness, what a beautiful date. Just, just love bombing the cast. That's it, if you're going to do it. Whitwood said the audience prefers genuine people. KT and TT are not genuine. Two Is for Life said, you would think they would have learned from old girl from season 7, whose name we shall not speak. 6 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. No motion. KP said, my thing is nobody talks about her not pouring back into him. What he said was wrong, but let's be real. If you don't like the stuff you don't like about your partner, you vent and say them things too. You can absolutely vent and say them things too, but he apologized. He apologized. And then you take everything back. And like, what is this narrative that nobody liked you and you don't have no friends?
And
you was crying and hugging them people.
A good question would have been her saying to Casey, do you think you were wrong? Do you think you wronged Anaya? And let him say, yeah, I think I, went about it wrong. I was too, if you're going to ask them kind of questions to make him redeem himself.
Yeah. This should have been a redemption.
Yes.
This should have been, you
should have said right something there about Anaya, and you should have said that.
It was right there.
I was glad that we were able to, come together. I was being, just young and dumb or whatever, you know what I mean? I was there and, I was over there. I didn't know that they were taping this to show to them. So I was just, first time over there, I'm just going crazy. All these women, they got on, they behinds out, titties, like Taylor said, titties ass out. Yeah, I was having a good time. Yeah, say something like that to bring
this
the
should
people
have been fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
M9 said the classic statement is giving backtracking. We watched what she said on After Sun, and it was clear what was said. She says it's because they were black. Which lets me know they have not watched this show because a lot of the winners who win Love Island are black. Normally black women. It's normally black women who are winning. And the most famous Love Island couple is a fully black American couple. Serena had micro braids and grills. What are we talking? And she was dark. She was darker than you, TT. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Forever said Speedy was actually defending Anaya. I was shocked. He learned from last season. I don't believe that he feels that way, child. Turtle said 3-4 of the core 4 is under their photo shoot giving them compliment. That's what I was just like, for y'all to drop that podcast and say that y'all don't have any friends. Every time you post something, the people you said are not your friends are in your comments loving on you guys. What are you talking about? And TT and Casey are liking them and replying thanks. So which ones is it?
They need to be getting with these couples and be seen with them.
And y'all from well, at least TT is from LA. Casey is in Fresno. Y'all can't meet. Y'all close to the entertainment capital. Y'all can't do some stuff out there with the people who are out here. Y'all should be at them dinners. Y'all should be doing lives with them.
Bryce, what's up, man? Y'all want to go to dinner?
Oh, Lord. Orion said, if you think Casey was nice, I really feel bad that you let that man treat you like that or talk to you like that. M9 said, TT said that we should back her because she is black. So you can go on TV and act a fool and we need to support you no matter what. I didn't like, that's what she said. Well, that's what I think. I felt like they were trying to make those of us who are part of the black community feel bad for not supporting their mess. But here's the thing. You were mean and disrespectful to another black person.
Yeah.
What were we supposed to do? That girl had a panic attack and y'all laughed. You guys look cruel. You guys looked cruel. Why can't you really acknowledge that? You acknowledged it when you was in the villa, but then you get out the villa and you start listening to these bozos who ain't going nowhere. Oh.
And TT had a little something on her because she said that she would sit in there and watch him. And she said, I knew that I wanted you. I wanted you. So I was coming out for you. And so she had a little air against Anaya coming out. As a woman that have dated and seen people that want the guy that you're dating and how they move, that's what she did. She said him and Anaya is not, I'm coming for him. I'm not mad
that's
at
what
that.
he likes. He said, I like to be pursued.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that because that's what the name of the game is. I'm not mad at that, but your attitude about it. You didn't have a nice attitude because that was not your fight to fight. Him and Anaya.
After the woman repeatedly said, we are not mad at you.
Yeah.
We are talking to him.
Even before they even got there, when he came back with her, she should have been quiet because that's not my argument. He chose me.
But they haven't watched the show because TT saying that the Casa girls are hated. I'm just like, you do not realize when the Casa girls come back, the girls get with the boys. The OG girls get with the OG boys. After that, they all greet the Casa girls and everybody becomes sisters.
But she had a little too, she was coming back with the nan, and she had something to say, and that was none of your business.
Yeah.
So that's where all that came from. Listen, I'm done.
Devon just said they laughed at Bryce and Trinity being girlfriend and boyfriend, and then they became boyfriend and girlfriend not even a few days later, and pulled a Johnny from season 2 with the scavenger hunt. That was all about him and not them as a couple. Even Ian pointed it out. What did he say? Casey is making TT do a scavenger hunt where the prize at the end is him. Oh, ciao. Wit said Anaya had the verse, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Casey and TT better wake up and listen. That verse becomes true every day. Every day with that young lady. Turtle said a pity party is not going to build your brand. I agree with everyone saying they need to lean into community aspects. Yep. M9 said black women protect black men at all costs. Black men protect themselves at all costs. At the cost of black women. Yep. You speak. There it is. Zach 96 says, so his actions made the racism comments. It's his fault for disproportionate reaction to him choosing peace with TT. Man said he was drained. You could be drained and not disrespect someone.
And that's okay. If she's not your type,
you can be drained and not
if she's not your type, that's okay.
Be a jerk.
Amen.
And I never said, unless I put words in my mouth, I never said that his actions made people comment racism. I never said that. It's not his fault for people saying racist things. I said that those people who do not like Black people will use the whatever is being said about them as a way to get their racism off. And I don't agree with that. Just because you no longer want to be in a relationship with someone, it doesn't give you a right to treat that person like they are fecal matter on the bottom of your shoe. And he knew that. That's why he apologized. And I'm not understanding the people who are defending him who do not realize that he thought he was wrong as well.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard for you guys to see? And I feel like it's so hard for you to see because you not only like how he treated Anaya, you treat Black women like that. You treat darker skinned Black women and children like that. So for you, this is your norm. And so you can't see any fault in that because that is how you treat people who look like people, adults and children who look like Anaya. And that, if you are Black, you got to examine that because the core of that is anti-Blackness. You should not be okay with his behavior, him and TT, because they weren't. So why are you? KT35 said, you're protecting him and overlooking the harm that he did to a Black woman. So many of the problems in our community stem from that. Black men harming Black women and children and no one ever addressing it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially if it's a Black girl. Don't let it be a dark-skinned Black girl. Oh, she fast, right? They make excuses for the Black men in the community being predators, saying the girl is fast. They make excuses for the Black men in the community harming and abusing children because they're bad. They needed to be beat. Make all kinds of excuses for the men. And that's why our Black men are out here embarrassing us. Mm-hmm. They can't read. They can't hold a conversation. They can't keep a job. All we tell them to do is dribble a ball and run a football. That's all they know. And the only time they're put on the pedestal is when they got their ding-a-ling in their hand. It is embarrassing the way the men in my community are running out in this world. In my community, the Black women in the community are responsible because we let them get away with this nonsense. Older Black women in the Black community are responsible. Because you give your daughter hell and you treat that boy like a prince. And your daughter sees that. And your son sees that. We have got to change as a community. Mm-hmm. It's a problem. And if we are watching this young man and his actions on this TV show and saying he did nothing wrong, my God, today, Black America, you're in danger, girl. You're in danger, girl. You're in danger, girl. El Boogie said, let's be real. He didn't explore soul because he didn't think he could win against Sincere.
Bingo.
Truth of the fact of the matter. But what you do, you scapegoated onto the Black woman. You didn't think you could be Sincere because you think that Sincere is more attractive than you. So instead of voicing that honesty, you say, oh, Anaya wouldn't let me do it. We don't have any clips of Anaya telling you not to do it. We have clips of Anaya saying, do you want to? Yeah. And you say, no, you're the blueprint. You're all I want. How are people defending him not seeing this? My God, today, I know y'all treat Black women and Black girls like garbage. There's no way. If y'all excusing this behavior, there's no way that Black girls, especially dark-skinned Black girls, are safe in your care. No way. Blue Jay said, have a stream, podcast, and YouTube, how to navigate this field as a young Black man, how to move with ethics, respect, and dignity. Here's the thing. I would never do something like that. The Black community won't listen, especially for me. Now, Kada could do that. Soul could do that. And maybe a few of the people in the Black community will listen. Coming from me, my God, today, I'm not opening myself up to that hate. K235 said, honestly, Melanie said it best during movie night. It's giving you youth and I to stay in the house. All the girls said that.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was doing. Turtle said, season 8 was a product of so many people only watching season 7 because how were they all confused that Casa had cameras? My God, today. My God, today. The kids didn't know the show they were on. Sheba said exactly, Mama Star. It should have been more objective, balanced questions so he could show remorse and reflection. Yep, it should have been a way for these two to redeem. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be redemption. Cassandra, thank you for the super chat. Cassandra said, unless they get help, i.e. a manager, I don't know if they would be able to represent themselves on the reunion. They're not my favorite, but I wish them well. Same. I could agree. And thank you so much for the super chat. Carol said, when Anaya broke down that episode, it made me so mad that they were laughing and Anaya heard it all. And they also heard her go, they're laughing. And then he pulls Anaya for a chat after all of that and tells her, you go. Guys, y'all can't excuse that behavior. You can't. And I'm going to say it again. If you excuse that behavior, I know how you treat dark-skinned Black women and girls. And it's not good. Because you're saying that type of brutality should be expected for us. And that tells me that you see me as a laborer in a field built for abuse. Built for mistreatment. Because it didn't take him 2 seconds to apologize to Soul and comfort her and adore her. It took him days to apologize to Anaya. Why is that? I hate when people try to act like I'm stupid. Like I don't. Let's not, come on. We know why, guys. We know why. I've lived in this skin long enough to know how y'all operate. Dora said, and they're not even cordial to colleagues, coming out immediately, making it clear that they're not friends. Just dumb decisions being made back to back. Listen, even if it wasn't sweet, I would have never told y'all. I would have never told y'all that we're not friends. You think I'm going to tell you I'm not friends with them people that got 3 million followers? Nah. Camilla, who got 3 million followers in 2 days. Camilla said maybe he pulled people after that and said she didn't like the way. Maybe he pulled people after that and said that she didn't like the way that she moved. Either way, there's just a way to go after it. That's what everybody's saying. Everybody's making it seem like, oh, we're just mad because he didn't want Anaya. Nobody's mad at that. The girls in the villa weren't mad at that. It was the disrespect. It wasn't just Anaya. All the girls are mad because of how him and Corbin were talking about them. And they should have been, because they never said anything negative about them. They thought that they were all cool and friends. They didn't know until they got to Casa that KC and Corbin didn't like them. They had every right to be upset about that. Turtle said the fire pits is the first of many reasons why I couldn't get on the Ciara train. Another one being them calling Melanie. Yep. It's like, so y'all just take joy in clowning on others, don't y'all? And it was always the comments made about Melanie when she was having a breakdown. Because again, Sincere was lying to her yet again. It's like you see this girl in a vulnerable state and you think it's the time for you to drag her. What? That's the thing. That's like so weird for people who are not awful. Why is that your first thought to do when you see somebody in pain? That's weird. Azak said, you don't have support. Just don't abuse and add racism, but call it out in real time. I'm 50 said, they're young and a grown woman would have came from Casa and said, handle your business, tie up them loose ends, I'll be there. Yep, that's how they always do. Shanae said, even his comments about the omelet comment the next morning after recoupling, it was mean-spirited to make a smart comment while she was at her lowest after laughing at her the night before. That's what we're all talking about, guys. That's it. It's just like the choice to be awful to someone when they're in pain, especially when they're in pain that you inflicted. That's just that for the empaths, it's weird. It's weird. I would never, even if I don't like you, I see you in pain. I'm not going to then use that moment to double down, add fuel to the fire. I'm just not wired like that. Thank God. In the springtime said, people want Carl to treat Anaya like how Kenny treated Janae. It's getting weird out here. Yeah, because, and it's from the KC and TT fan base, because they want her to be hurt and humiliated. So they can be like, yeah, you see, because they don't like what KC and TT's actions are producing for them, because it's producing very little, right? But that audience doesn't realize you're the problem. KC and TT can redeem themselves and be good right off the bat. The problem is the people that follow them, brands don't want them people. You're negative. You're negative. And so the brands are just like, if we do anything with them and that fan base don't like it, they're going to be in our comments, you know, tagging and contacting all of this. They're watching this stuff. The brands literally watch engagement. And they're just like, companies are just like, we don't need it. We don't need it. Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine said a karaoke tour would be perfect idea for KC and TT. Trap and R&B karaoke tours are hot right now. Absolutely agree. And seeing that, and they should go to like mainly Black areas. People will love seeing that Black couple doing karaoke and just having fun. They need to lean into fun. Yeah. That's what's going to work for them. Let me get a couple more. Coro said exactly. It was so frustrating that the guys weren't understanding that it wasn't because of the new connection, but unnecessary and nasty words and actions that pissed people off. Yes, everybody's acting like the girls are just mad because of KC recoupling with someone. No, they were all heated about how they were talking about them. So they already had beef with him. Corbin, everybody's moved on from Corbin. Corbin came in. As soon as Corbin walked in, they said, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Before they saw Parmesan, because they saw how this dude was. They saw the thing with they didn't see how they talked about them, but they saw the whole what is it? Heart rate and how he was talking about Kenzie. So they were already heated with him. They were already heated because it's just like you're acting like you're coupled up and you go through all of that, Corbin, to be with this girl. And then as soon as somebody walks out in a thong, you're like, bye, Kenzie. So they all had their own issues. Then they all had even more issues with them at movie night. They had no issues with TT at the recoupling. It got heated because TT kept on talking and interjecting. Anaya was trying to talk to KC, and then KC was telling her how he felt about her. The girls and Anaya had an issue with that because this is the first time that she's hearing it. Now and she's only hearing it now when she lost her coupling. So it looks like KC only held on to Anaya until he got with either a bombshell or somebody from Casa that he really wanted. Because the girls are like, why are you saying this now? Now that she's vulnerable. it looks suspect. That's what everybody was mad about. But everybody's focusing on, oh, she didn't want her. Oh, he didn't want her. He rejected her. That's not it. It's the disrespect. And the girls kept on saying it was the disrespect. Simone said Bryce and Trinity are going to be on What Happens. Oh, they're good. I love it. I love it. We absolutely going to have to talk about that. Carol said, I absolutely understand as well how much it must have hurt when no one was behind Casey's door, but that resentment he's holding is only going to make things worse for himself. Thank you so much for bringing up the door. Because when he brought up the door, everybody was like, what the hell are you talking about? We just want to know why you recoupled. Because you were saying that, like, obviously, you guys also have to realize, or his defenders, you have to realize that the something he was saying to Anaya, he was saying to everybody else.
Yeah,
even Trinity was defending KC to Anaya because of what he was telling her. So they're all believing that this dude is really into her and really wants her, and she don't have to worry about nothing. And when he comes back with somebody else, and he starts talking about nobody chose him at the door. They're like, what are you talking about? You told us that you liked her and she was in-game. So we're just confused. But you're bringing up this door. Nobody knew what was going on in that dude's head. We only knew because we were watching behind the scenes footage of him, hidden camera footage of him, but they didn't know because he wasn't telling them that. Jane React said the girls didn't know what they were saying in Casa when they first came back to the villa. They found out everything at movie night. The girls were mean and they disrespected the guys as well. That's not true. That is not true. You forget that the guys were saying, mainly Corbin, was saying stuff at the heart rate challenge. Everybody's forgetting that they watched, first of all, they watched the entirety of the heart rate challenge. We only saw what Corbin said. They were all heated after that. So we didn't even see all that footage. They watched the entire heart rate challenge. And I remember Rob talking about the heart rate challenge, and he said it took them 10 hours to film that. They watched a live feed. So they watched the men for 10 plus hours straight. We only saw a little clip because the show was an hour. And then they did not have an initial issue with KC. They were all like, oh wow, like nobody could believe, even the guys. They knew it was coming, but they were like, oh, because their reaction was not because of, oh, Anaya's going to be hurt. Their reaction is because they knew it was going to be bad for him because of how he talked about that relationship. Everybody thought that they were it, that they were that couple. That is why Bryce and Zach kept on saying things in challenges, because they were the ones who were talking to KC the most. It wasn't sincere. They kept on saying, they kept on letting us know he don't like her, like he's telling everybody else. And even in the challenges, when Zach and Bryce would pick KC for things, everybody would be like, huh? They would be confused. Because KC was presenting that this girl was it. So a lot of people were really gagged when he came back with somebody else. But that wasn't the reason why it got heated. Everybody is overlooking the fact that he gave a speech about a freaking door. That's when everybody got heated, because Trinity was just like, we didn't know you. What are you talking about? Why are you saying that's the reason why you recoupled? It's not making sense. And it's really weird that y'all always overlook his actions and focus on people's reactions to his actions. What is that? I know what it is. Plantation. Hunger Games said Karnaya is doing it too. And the description is just, I don't know what that means. Zora said, I hate that people continue to try and weaponize what Janae endured by wishing that on other couples. Why would you want anyone to experience harm in that way? That thing makes it sick. Because again, just like they don't see Anaya as a fully realized human being, right? They see her as a beast on the field who's just a laborer, right? She's cattle. Dark-skinned Black women are just cattle for the Black community, right? Same thing with Janae. She is not deserving of their empathy, of their sympathy, of their grace. Because she's dark, she's built to handle pain. So every sick, racist, evil, disgusting thing that our white oppressors think about Black people, have said about Black people, the Black community thinks that way about dark-skinned Black people. So they are not going to offer Janae any grace or sympathy. They're actually going to blame her for picking him. And they're not going to give her any grace because she's dark. She can take it. Tough chick. You know, them Black men that don't date Black women, the first thing they say, especially about dark-skinned Black women, they're strong. What the hell makes you think I'm strong? My skin color. So to them, dark skin is strength. So in Black men, we love that. We love a nice little dark-skinned Black man. Dark-skinned Black woman, too much power. They're too strong. So Janae, she's dark, but she should be strong. She should be able to take that. But you know it caused her harm. That's why you're wishing it on Anaya. Nasty work. Nasty work. KT35 said Corbin was literally sneaking behind people's back to be with Kenzie just to drop her as soon as he got to Casa and found a racially ambiguous girl. And guess what? We call him out too. Soon as he cut the corner, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Why are y'all overlooking that and just focusing on KC? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Blue Jay said he got to learn how to let the resentment go. That rots your core and clips the opportunity of growth. Yeah, something happened with him with like some kind of rejection or whatever. And he needs to, see about that. Because him holding on to that door for 6 weeks, crazy. And doing the things that he did because he was mad at the KC defenders. You do realize that he did all of that not because he liked TT, but because he wanted to show the girls that somebody would choose him when they didn't. On the first day, not even knowing that guy. The guy who made decisions based off of what he thought women would want and not because he really thought that way. And mind you, Anaya chose him every day after that. But he couldn't receive it and he did not care because after he opened that door, he made it his mission to humiliate the women in the villa that didn't choose him. He was on a humiliation mission. It was not about finding love. It's about humiliating those women because they didn't choose him. And a challenge on the first day of filming. That's weird, y'all. That's very, very weird. You gotta admit that. Camilla said Casey thought Anaya would be sent home and he wouldn't have to deal with the consequences. He was not expecting Carl to come back. He was also expecting to have 2 women fighting over him because he wanted that, right? Because to go from not being chosen to have 2 women in the villa fighting over you, that's what he wanted. Carl messed up the plan. Shout out to production. Zach said they were strong until it wasn't. Anaya's last pre-Casa conversation was clear. I agree. Camilla said Bryce grilled him several times asking if he was into Anaya because they knew. Everybody else didn't know. That's why, guys, if you think back to the challenges, every time Bryce or Zach would like pick Casey for something negative, everybody would be like, what? What are you talking about? Even the audience. Remember, in my lives, I was just like, why are they doing KC like that? They're trying to take KC down. I sounded like a KC defender They're trying to take KC down. They're mad because that black man is going to win. No, they sat in conversations with him, and they knew he didn't like Anaya. They do. And that's why they were just like, you're acting like you're this great guy and that you two are in such a great space in your relationship. But we know from talking to you, you're not feeling her. Hey, Birdie. Birdie said, catching up on the Ciara portion, but I disagree about the function of Love Island after Sun host. The original concept was with India, whoever her co-host is, LOL. The point is to give your opinions. No. Now, that I agree with for those after Sun hosts. Ciara is a big deal. When you're where you're at, you can't have opinions. I will never forget Tina Fey went on, I do not know their names, but they're two gay men. One guy is Asian. He was on SNL, and the other guy is white. Remember when they first started their podcast, they interviewed Tina Fey, and they were talking to her, and she was just like, and they were just like, it was really hard to get you on the show. She was just like, yeah, because I don't do stuff like this. And they were just like, yeah, you told us not to do it. She was like, yeah, I told you that this is just not a smart thing to do. And they were just like, well, why? It's just, everybody podcasts on the thing. We're doing our podcast. We're just sharing our opinion. And Tina Fey looked at the both of them and she said, yeah, opinions are expensive. And that's why I advised you not to do this. Fast forward to their podcast is getting canceled and they're being called racist because they did a smear campaign against Jasmine Crockett. Whole podcast talking about how she's not a good person and you shouldn't vote for her. Their opinion. But that opinion is meddling in an election and it costs them. It costs them. So that's the thing. And listen, if you just want to stay where you're at, fine. Have your opinions. But when you get to that level, that opinion is going to be expensive. I'm telling y'all right now, when it happens for me, you think I will be as opinionated as I am now? Girl, bye. You're going to be like, Nikki, switch up. Nikki, fake. Okay. I bought my mama a house. You know what I mean? Like, say whatever you want. Opinions are expensive, especially when you're at a certain level. Ciara is too big to be speaking like that. That was just that. And Birdie, I'm animated. I'm not, it's not towards you. Forever said Casey was the one who said Kenzie. Casey was the one who said Kenzie's out the window too. They were acting like fools. Yeah, that's the thing. And guys, we only saw a small clip of that footage. They watched the whole thing, a live feed. We only got them watching it in the beginning, and then we got them cutting off the TV. We don't know how long they were sitting there and how much they were watching, because they were really upset. And I was even watching like, well, what? Ain't nobody really saying anything. Why are you? But I realized, they were watching the live feed of everything, so they heard all the comments. And KC and Corbin was in that villa cutting up, saying some wild stuff. And I'm telling you, we did not hear the worst of the things that they said about the women in the villa. We didn't. There's going to be an interview. I don't know when, but it's going to come out at some point, and it's going to be with production, one of the producers. And they're going to tell us that what KC said in that villa, they left a lot of it on the cutting room floor. It's going to come out that they really rehabbed his image to the audience and that we didn't see the worst of it. Because there's no way that this guy is so great, then as soon as it's time to get the casa, he is Jekyll and Hyde. No way the show didn't already catch the things that he was saying and doing already. But it's a TV show. They had to give us a reveal. And that they did. Artwell said in Casa case he was planning on still exploring with Anaya. He switched up after Corbin asked if he's done with her. Corbin is never beating the colorist allegations. He lives in Miami. He's a biracial with a non-black mom. Carl said, Bryce and Trinity's emotional maturity this season was so refreshing. Honestly, one thing I love about Trinity is how she will stand up and support people. Yes. Yes. K235 said, people see dark-skinned Black American women like Janae, Olandria tonight and believe that they should be strong enough to deal with whatever abuse gets thrown at them, just like our ancestors were expected to. Yes. And I always say this, and I would keep on saying this because this is true. Dark-skinned Black women and dark-skinned Black girls never get a day off from being Black, right? Or not being Black, but getting the Black experience, the Black treatment, right? We are treated like Black people outside of the Black community and inside the Black community. We never get to come into the Black community and rest. We got to be on guard with our own people. Blue Jay said, I watched Dominique Morgan. I love her. And she says the same thing. You can't be a free speech warrior and there want no consequences for your words. Which is it? You say whatever you want or be quiet and work. Absolutely. Opinions are expensive. Opinions are expensive. And when I start making a certain kind of coin, I will not be as opinionated. You'll know by my work. You'll know by my work. You'll see my opinion and the work that I choose to do. Raby said, producers going to release a producer's cut. Yep, for X amount of money. Yep. And the KT defenders are going to have egg on their face. I'm telling you, they protected your boy. They protected your boy. They gave him a favorable edit. There's no way that he suddenly turned into this person at Casa. He's always been that guy. They just didn't show us until it was time for them to reveal in his storyline. That's it. That's true. Levy said, you think Trinity's ex is a loser that can't get over a girl that doesn't? Oh, he's absolutely a loser. He's absolutely a loser. That's not the way to get her back. That's not the way to get her back. And I think he knows that it's done. She's not coming up off of Rice. She's not coming up. She's not leaving LA to come back to the 757 for him. He knows it's over. K235 said, it's cool, Nikki. We'll remember your opinions from this channel. We'll remember you was on the right side of history. Thank you. Please know, my opinions have not changed. I'm just moving wiser. That's all. That's all. I want to get one more and then I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Art World said, wearing a peach suit and a brooch. He really played the nice guy part. And Peacock was just like, oh, just so you know, that ain't who he is. I was gagged. They ate that transition. I did not see that coming. Anyway, I said let me make sure I got all my super chats. Anyway, I said all that to say, I'm not a Casey hater. You know, I don't think you can like one and hate the other. Like or a Casey TT hater. I'm not. I think they continue to mess up their bag. And I honestly think it's because they're too young. And it sucks that they got this opportunity when they were too young to handle it or properly care for it. And it's really unfortunate. It really, really is. I hope they redeem themselves and I hope they can take out of this moment what they can. It's not looking good, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. I wish them well. I do. I really, really do. I wish them well. I give them grace that they didn't give Anaya. So, yeah, that's it for me. I love you guys. Even if you disagree with me, thank you for sticking by. Stopping by. You can choose so many people, but you decided to choose me. And I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope that you leave here with a different perspective. And although I am disappointed in how my community has showed their behind during Love Island, I still love my people, and I think that I think that we can get it together. I think that we can get it together. We come through a lot, it's a lot of trauma in this community. But as somebody who just experiences the worst of the Black community, I want us to be better. I hope that we can be better in my lifetime, in my love time. I love you all. Again, thank you for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to review The Ultimatum. Next week, we're going to get into Married at First Sight, Big Brother, 90 Day Fiance. We're still going to be reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think that's going to be it for that week, because that's also a travel week for me. When I come back, I'll add in the scripted stuff that we talked about. So we got a lot of stuff happening on this channel. Please make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe if you want to. And I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. So long. Farewell to you, my